religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell, you'll understand the 7 demons within you. You'll understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We'll go over that, but anyway, so from a spiritual standpoint now when we say demons are our owners, what happens when you vibrate in that frequency, when you have those emotions? Understand what emotions are. Your soul has to express itself. How does it express itself? With energy. Right? That's how your soul expresses itself, with energies, these feelings, these emotions that you have. That's your soul expressing yourself. So now when you get into emotion, energy and motion, emotion, that's your...
8, that makes sense. That kind of explains why I feel the way that I feel and I perceive things the way that I do. Check this out, coach. In a family of tradition, I stand out like a sore thumb. Born into the wrong lineage, feeling like I'm on the run. Surrounded by expectations that I can never meet. Yearning for a different fate, longing for retreat. Mismatched with my bloodline, an outsider in my own home. Struggling to find my place, feeling lost all alone. Dreaming of a different life, where I can truly be free. Cursed with this legacy that never quite fits me. Not just born into the wrong generation, but the wrong family too. Bound by blood ties that suffocate and constrain my view. Searching for acceptance in a world that doesn't understand. Destined to break free from this legacy unplanned. I don't know, I just question everything. They say he's portrayed as a deceiver, but in the scriptures, his words seem pure. If he spoke without deceit, what does that say about the Lord's esteem? You argue over his motives, trying to reconcile the contradictions. If he was truthful indeed, what does that say about the divine's needs? Lilith, she's in disguise, a woman who brings the skies to ruin. Her heart so cold, a mother, she's in control. Peter Pan was a fairy tale, or was it? When you look around, the majority of the men are childish, never wanna grow up, being messy, causing chaos, living in the world of make-believe and never taking responsibility. Lilith in disguise, a woman of deceit, causes mental lust and leads them to retreat. A woman who should be cast away in the world of shadows. She lives in the gray. Tinkerbell's light flickers in the darkness of their souls, searching for eternal youth and fun. But time marches on and responsibilities beacon. Will they ever learn to put away their toys and become men? Lost boys playing games, never wanting to face reality, flying through life with no direction or purpose, avoiding adulthood like it's a plague to be avoided, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Lilith, a mother she should be, but in her heart she's free. She abandons her duty, leaving her children in disarray. Lust in her game, to men she plays, she leads them astray, and they pay the price. Karma. I guess people don't understand that karma can go both ways. It just depends on how, your mind perceives it. Karma can go, real deep if you're not careful.
Bro, you know the missing component? People think to feel. Again, you're working from the outside in. You have to work from the inside out. Right. The reason people can't manifest because they don't even believe they can have what they asking for. You gotta match that frequency. And belief is the feeling, it's not a thought. Right? This is where people get all this mixed up. So if you feel to think, feel to think. This is why you have dream boards and stuff like that, right? They want you to look at it and use those 5 senses. Any practitioner teaching you how to manifest things, what do they always say? Go and put yourself around the things you want. Why? So you can use those 5 senses so you can get a feeling of what the things are. So now you have a clearer picture of what the things are. So now people will try to manifest and look for the object they manifesting, but they not matching the frequency of it. So what happens is the universe gives you things to build you up to matching that frequency, to your own personal belief that you even deserve what you're asking for.
Yo, you're spitting some gems right there, coach. But for those of y'all in the background, man, check this out, yo. They say karma's bad, but is it true? Depending on your actions, that's how she'll come for you. She's a friend to me, but an enemy in your head. Karma brings me peace, while in your mind she spreads dread. We blame God for the problems around us, turning a deaf ear to our own mistakes. We blame the devil for our misguided actions, lost in the shadows of regret and mistakes. Elders criticize, you rebel in return, cutting off potential, lessons unlearned. Butterflies trapped in cocoons, dreams adjourned. A cycle of disrespect, the flames still burn. Parents stripe growth, children push away. Generations generations clash, never finding a way. Inhabit in progress, the price we pay. Butterflies grounded, never to sway. The cycle repeats, a never-ending chain. Misunderstandings persist, causing pain. Lost potential lingers like a stain. Generations at odds, searching in vain. We're stuck in a cycle of pain and sorrow, hoping for a better tomorrow. Black lives matter, white lives matter too. It's time to unite and break through. I'm just saying, it's 2025, but it feels like it's 1942. Black lives matter, white lives matter. That's the plea. Blaming the white man for all the hate that we see. Yet we're still killing our own kin. Can't break free. Struggling to find peace in this chaotic scene. Racism and violence tearing at the seams. Pointing fingers while we continue to demean. Looking ahead with hope in our hearts. Learning from our past mistakes, making new starts. Together we stand against all that tears us apart. Black or white, it's time for a fresh start. We're quick to point fingers at others, but in reality, it's ourselves that we need. The power to change lies within us. Why blame others when we can be our own lead? Just a little food for thought.
But they done tricked you. They done told you it's something outside you coming into you. That's how they get you to accept God is outside you. That's that whole concept. God knows it's in you. That's why when you have a deep desire, things come true. When you get that feeling of God in your way. Because that's true. But it's not outside of you, it's inside. They don't want you to know it's inside. Because there's a group of people, it's not inside of them. They have to get you to participate and give that energy away so they can have those experiences. And that's what most people do. By worshiping something outside themselves. You're giving that energy away. I should have did this on the verge.
In the balance of right and wrong, karma scales tip where they belong. She rewards my deeds with serenity, but in your thoughts, she breathes enmity. What you sow, you shall reap. Karma's justice runs deep. I find solace in her embrace, while she hunts you with no grace. And the wrong generation lost in time's illusion. God's mixed up in my mother's womb, a cosmic confusion. Feeling out of place like a puzzle piece misplaced. Searching for my purpose in this unfamiliar space. Born into a world that doesn't quite fit. A old soul trapped in a modern day script. Yearning for simplicity, longing for connection. In a fast-paced world of constant rejection, I navigate this life with an ancient soul's gaze. Struggling to find my path in these chaotic days. Perhaps God had a plan beyond what I can see, to challenge me to grow and set my spirit free.
But they done tricked you. They done told you it's something outside you coming into you. That's how they get you to accept God is outside you. That's that whole concept. God knows it's in you. That's why when you have a deep desire, things come true. When you get that feeling of God in your way. Because that's true. But it's not outside of you. It's inside. They don't want you to know it's inside. Because there's a group of people, it's not inside of them. They have to get you to participate and give that energy away so they can have those experiences. And that's what most people do. By worshiping something outside themselves. You're giving that energy away.
Get you a word.
I should have did this on the word.
Welcome to Philadelphia, aka Philadelphia. HP, baby. In HP where my blood runs deep. Not born in Philly but raised in the streets. A shorty from Ponce, Puerto Rico I hail. Taino roots run deep, my heritage won't fail. Indigenous to both lands, I proudly proclaim. America where water and air come at a price. But in HP my heart finds its place. Though it hurts to see what my community has to face. Sometimes I look around, lost in a maze. Questions linger in vain, causing a haze. People get offended, their egos inflamed. Yet they scream for change, their voices untamed. We seek to make a difference, to break the chains. But anger and offense cloud our noble aims. Opinions are silenced, a disheartening scene. In the HP community where I grew up as a kid, we had nothing but fun. Didn't matter what we did, no matter what we looked like or where we came from. We got along just fine, never felt the need to run. But then a few kids went missing and some loved ones lost their lives due to mistaken identity, confusion and hate that thrives. And I don't know when it all really changed, but I miss the old days when we all had fun and didn't judge. Sometimes I look around, lost in a maze. Questions linger in vain, causing a haze. People get offended, their egos inflamed. Yet they scream for change, their voices untamed. Looking back in my community, I shake my head. Strings attached to their backs, they're easily led. Waiting for a savior, a puppet master's command. While warriors fight and take a stand. Warriors rise, their spirits unyielding. Fighting for justice, their voice revealing. They offer solutions, paths to a brighter day. Yet met with resistance, they're forced to sway. Now it's about race. Who has more and who could take what they want? They say they want change, but really they just want chaos to flaunt. They don't care about the community or the people who live here. They just want to stir up trouble, spread fear and hate. It's clear. Sometimes I look around, lost in a maze. Questions linger in vain, pause in the haze. People get offended, their egos inflamed. Yet they scream for change, their voices untamed. In the depths of my soul, a wish unfolds. To turn back time, a story yet untold. My community, once united, now torn apart. How do we divide, leaving scars in every heart? Our kids like sponges, absorb all they see, mimicking our actions, following our lead. Young boys and girls, lost in a prison's embrace, acting gangster, a tragic masquerade. Parents, consumed by laziness, have lost their way. Communications fade, they simply give up. Gun violence escalates, a vicious cycle's grip. Parents and children, now enemies, a bitter flip. Sometimes I look around, lost in a maze. Questions linger in vain, pause in a haze. People get offended, their egos inflamed. Yet they scream for change, their voices untamed. They demand change from their kids, yet fail to lead by example. They stumble, their guiding's weak indeed. In HP, we struggle, we fight for our lives. So let me spit these lyrics, unleashing the truth, letting my words freely glow. For HP is my blood, believe it or not. A shorty from Ponce representing my spot. Sometimes I look around, lost in a maze. Questions linger in vain, pause in a haze. People get offended, their egos inflamed. Yet they scream for change, their voices untamed. Welcome to Philly, baby. HP in the house, baby. Welcome to Philly, baby. Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble morning. Continue to have a blessed and humble afternoon. Day, my bad. Damn, I'm all discombobulated early in the morning, aren't I? Snap, man. Man, it has been so crazy off these YouTube streets, on these YouTube streets, yo, man. But I don't know where y'all watching from, right? But like I said just a minute ago, welcome to Philly, baby. It's a lot going on, man. Let me start off by giving a big shout out to my regular subscribers, my new subscribers. All right, I want to say thank you. All right, there's a lot of people out there. All right, blessing the Shorty with her poetry books. All right, I'm definitely almost done the second book that we're gonna publish. All right, I'm working on it. Let me see if I can share my John. Can I share what I got? Can I share what I'm writing? Let me see. Yup. Oh, okay. It'll let me share. All right, y'all. Listen, I'm definitely working on this one. I want to say thank you to all those that are, all right, purchasing the first book. All right. Listen, those of you that have been following me, all right, know why I started this channel, what I plan on doing. All right. Listen, it's taken me 7 years. All right. 2 years ago. When was it? Last year, I think a year and a half ago, right? If I'm not mistaken. It was like towards the end of 2024, right? Beginning of 2025, all right? My voice finally got heard, all right, when it comes to these cameras. Deeper background checks on these teachers, basically school staff, right? So listen, it's taken me a minute, all right? I went from being shy in front of this camera, right? Stumbling, all right, fumbling everywhere, falling all over myself. Like, listen, I didn't know what to say. Sometimes I sounded like a little mouse at, in certain occasions. But shit, listen, in 7 years, in this YouTube, right, and since I started advocating for the kids, speaking up for those that, how can I say, have been either, sexually molested, abused, or bullied in schools, right, and much more. I've grown. I went from being that shy, young woman to being that fully grown, developed woman, right? That now has this voice that, that nobody seems to be able to, how can I say, shut up, right? I have a passion in me, and I don't know what it is, right? It was probably inside of me the whole time.
And it took for them, to sit here and mess with my little cub, right? My little bear. It took for them to mess with my baby for me to let that, that spark ignite. You see where I'm coming from? Like, it's crazy because before the school district did my son dirty, right? Before the school district decided to sit here, right? And how can I say, try to sweep things under the rug, thinking that I was a mother that was not going to stand up and speak up, right, for her child, for her child's rights. They thought that I was just going to say, hey, look, screw it, man. I'm tired. I'm fed up. My child is, going through this. I cannot handle it. No, that made me fight even harder than what I already was. You see where I'm coming from? And I came on this, John, and at first, when I first started going onto social media, I thought that, I wasn't going to accomplish nothing, get anywhere. You see where I'm coming from? Or get anywhere. But, after a while, seeing that, all I had to do was be me, be honest, be real, be sincere, all right? I started meeting a lot of people that were, how can I say, like-minded. And from there, we've been networking and building. And I appreciate all of y'all that have, whether y'all subscribed onto this channel, all right, whether we've had conversations, whether y'all have inspired me to write my poetry, all right. This right here is the second book I'm working on. It's called Ink in My Veins, right? How a Shorty Sees the World. A collection of poetry by a Shorty, all right? That's my name. My government is out there, all right? So shout out to my mama for naming me Raquel. Raquel. All right. But I prefer to be called Rachel. All right. Rachel is what everybody calls me. That's what I'm known for, or Shorty. All right. I don't like being called by my government. It's out there, yeah. I just hate being called by my government. All right. I just hate it. I don't know why. I love my nickname, Rachel. But we are definitely working on this. I'm almost done. I'm on the last chapter of this book. All right, guys, we're gonna publish it soon. We're gonna I gotta schedule the giveaways. All right, it's a lot going on. All right, because like for those of y'all that have been following me and know exactly what I'm doing, all right, then y'all know that I'm out here putting that footwork in. Chris, blessings, Chris Wilson from Ohio. How you doing? Blessings, welcome to the live. Then y'all know that I'm out here trying to put this footwork in. All right. Says listen, we the first time in years, I'm gonna say years, because the last time I've seen some real snow here in Philadelphia, all right, I was a little kid playing in the snow. All right, not even my kids got to experience what real snow is. My oldest son is 19 years old, and he just finally got to experience what real snow is. At least a foot of snow. All right, because before that, we was just getting nothing but centimeters and inches. All right. But listen, all right, I just want to say thank y'all. I want to say thank you to all those that are supporting and are, how can I say, motivating a Shorty, inspiring a Shorty through y'all stories, all right? Because listen, at the end of the day, all right, we all go through so many things. We all fight our demons in the same hell, just different ways, right? Like when I came on here, like I said a minute ago, I really thought that I wasn't going to accomplish anything through social media. But the same way that, I accomplished certain things out here, right? And I put in that footwork, right? And I got boots on the ground. I've been able to do it here. It's been a little slower through social media, right? Out here, face to face, I get, a lot of work done. But through social media, right, I'm able to go, I'm able to talk to other people that is not just in Philly, right? Because when I'm in Philadelphia, if I talk to other people outside of Philadelphia, right, that are not living in Philadelphia, yeah, we got different people. Listen, a lot of people have moved to Philadelphia from different parts of the, from different parts of the world, right? That's not my issue. Listen, my thing is, right, that on social media, right, I get to promote even more, right, when it comes to like the petition and stuff like that. I get to speak on it, and I get to, expand. You see where I'm coming from, right? And I've gotten more signatures, and I really appreciate that. All right, we're on the second petition now. All right, the first one, that John, I need to cancel it. All right, because there's another parent that got a little more signatures than me. And shout out to that parent. All right, listen, man, we need more parents out here speaking up when it comes to the school matters. Like, I know a lot of people are focused on this presidential election, but we need to focus local. All right, local is where we make the changes. All right, going to these meetings is how I've been able to accomplish a lot. Speaking to a lot of these politicians, all right, debating my ideas, all right, with theirs, with what they say the law is, the policies are, and much more. All right. Like these are the things that we actually have to do. Like we can't focus on the president. The president cannot do for us, for us. The president cannot give us the things that we need locally. All right. His job is federal. All right. So like I said, right, I had so many ideas and I just listen, I didn't even think that I was gonna make it this far. All right. We're on our second channel, man. Those that have been following me know that I lost the first one, right? I do got a mouth on me. I feel as though, when I'm speaking for the things that, that are needed, that we need, that will help us, prosper, have a better future, that will help our kids, further their education and the things that we have, that we have in our community, right, that they need. I feel as though we really need to speak up. Like we cannot be shy when it comes to them, right? Like, listen, they have a voice. And as crazy as it sounds, right, their voice is not really heard, really heard until they're, 21, right? 18, 21 around there. But if you pay close attention, right, shout out to the parents out there that take their kids to these community meetings, right? We got kids out there that are learning how to speak up, not just in these events, not just in these community meetings, but in these schools, right? There's a lot of people coming together that I meet, not just through community meetings, not just through events, but within these schools, right? The school events, the school meetings, parent teacher conferences, all right? I also listen, if you pay attention and you listen, right, you can see the people that are there, the ones that are trying to actually help our communities and the ones that are trying to destroy it. It may sound crazy, to a lot of people what I'm saying, but I've been paying attention and I'm not just listening to the adults. I'm listening to the kids. All right. I'm listening to their stories. I'm listening to what's needed. Right. And I hear so many people keep saying, oh, we can't do this. We can't accomplish. Yes, we can. See, the problem is that in your vocabulary, you have the words I can't. All right. It's not that you can't, you just won't. For whatever the reason is, you don't want to. All right. And I wish some people would say that. Right. Instead of bashing and bringing other people, down. Look, listen, this is not what I'm into. This is not what I want to do. Right. Like, this is why I got a lot of respect for certain people, right? And for certain people, I don't. I don't get tired of telling people, listen, if they tell you, hey, listen, Shorty's a bitch. Yo, listen, I love Rachel. Believe both of them. Two different entities, all right? Seeing two different sides of me. Because at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. Right? Listen. It took me a little bit, all right, and like I told y'all, I was shy in the beginning. I didn't even know what to do and how to start, all right, and I got to keep giving a big shout out. I'm tired of saying all right. Then why do I keep saying all right? It's like a habit, and it's like I'm hearing myself, and it's like, damn, Ray, like stop saying all right. But I don't know why I do that. But shout out to Kwame Brown, all right, because listen, he was one of the ones that I kind of almost went head to head, but I didn't. All right, I didn't because I took a minute and I listened, and it's crazy. The way I listened was by challenging him, because he's like, "Listen, you got to go to town hall. You got to do this." I was like, "Look, listen. If the people in my community not going to listen, what makes you think that anybody in town hall is going to listen to this?" Right? And he I'm not gonna say he was disrespectful because Kwame Brown hasn't disrespected me. Like he has a habit of dropping people down, but he didn't drop me. He gave me some advice, and he's like, you know what? Listen, go do this, right? And come holler at me. And crazy part is, right? I did it to prove him wrong. That was the funny part, but I had to laugh afterwards, right? Because he was right. You go to town hall, right? And it's a little more than just these meetings that we have in our communities, right? Town hall, you get to see more of these politicians, right? Debate them. You got a certain amount of time. See, I'll debate a politician in town hall. But one thing I will not do is debate people here on social media. Why? Because we're not accomplishing nothing. We're repeating the same thing over and over to the point where it starts going left. People start getting offended because one party thinks that the other person is not listening. But yes, one is listening to receive while the other one is listening, how can I say, to respond. And that's the issue, the biggest issue we have here on social media, right? A lot of people want to debate like politicians. And what's crazy is that y'all got a town hall y'all can actually go to and debate. Y'all can schedule, y'all could schedule the day that y'all that they that they have a meeting, because they have different types of meetings. You see where I'm coming from, for different types of things, right? But a lot of people don't know this because it's like, I don't know, maybe some of us don't know how to get that message. I know I could be a little slow sometimes, but it's hard to find people that could be as slow as me. Man, that's crazy. Blessings, blessings, blessings. We got the beautiful Alicia Dion in the chat. Welcome to the live. Appreciate you guys. Make sure y'all go check out Alicia Dion, man. Great conversations, great topics. All right. Damn. If I didn't have all these tabs open, I could leave her link down there. But let me give her a mod stick so she could leave her own link in the chat down below. Yes, because I want her to leave her link. So let me give her a mod stick. Alicia, you can leave your link down below so people can go check you. And listen, guys, she's also good with poetry, right? I've had great conversations with her on blessings, healing realms. All right. Damn, I don't know why I get tongue twisted saying blessings, blessing healings, man. For real. I hate when I get tongue twisted. But I've had great conversations with them over there. All right. Make sure y'all go check them out. All right. Blessings Healing Realms, Alicia Dion. All right. There's a lot of wonderful ladies that come together on Blessing Healing Realms channel, and they do poetry, they have conversations, they do storytelling, and much more. Alicia Dion on her channel has great conversations, great topics, and much more. Please go check them out. All right. But back on topic, guys. Listen. It is so much going on. All right. I think I haven't gone live for like a week to a week and a half or some change, right? Because one, I think I played one song on one of my lives that I wasn't supposed to, and I uploaded a video that they said that I went against community guidelines, which I didn't, and I fought both of them. So I'm back before I'm supposed to be back. All right, but shit, that's what them disclaimers are for. All right, you're supposed to dispute these mofos when they do you dirty on social media. All right, guys, you're supposed to dispute them, man. Like we need to make some good disclaimers. Like YouTube, man, y'all messing up, and they came and messed up TikTok too. But let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic, man. Like I was telling y'all, man, 7 years, right? And I know sometimes I jump around, right? Because it's like everything goes hand in hand, and people don't even peep it. And then it's like we got a certain amount of time to talk, all right? And I can go about this for days, all right? For real. But it's so much going on from what is happening with the president right now, what's happening locally within our communities. All right, like y'all know, man, I'm from Philly. All right, I love my city, but the people in my city sometimes make you wake up like Homer Simpson choking water. All right, that's how they make you feel, like you just want to choke the living crap out of somebody. Like, damn, can you just knock some sense into somebody? Like, this world is just so backwards. I'm telling you, man. They scream for change, but in reality, it's so much hate. We got hate in our hearts. All right, people got so much hate, so much envy in their heart. It is ridiculous, yo. Like, you got people hating on people here on social media, and it's crazy because I love watching a lot of content creators. I just hate it when it goes left. Like, I just wish that if people say, "Hey, listen, man, I'm in the mood to roast," like, keep it roasting and don't take it personal. Like, if y'all want to joke, but don't take that personal. It's too much of that going on this job, man. And like I said, the hate, the envy is real. All right. Before I continue to say what I'm going to say, right, I got this poem right here. All right. It's called the Captain's Map. My bad. Right. And it goes like this. And I want y'all to really listen to the words. All right. Because what people don't understand is, right, that your soul is your mind. Your soul lies where your mind is. All right. Like, listen, I'm not even going to get philosophical with y'all right now, but listen. Let's get, let's talk a little metaphor, right? In the depths of your mind, memories reside, a complex web of thoughts, vast and wide. Knowledge shapes you, a guiding star, your soul's journey and who you are. Experiences attached deep within define your essence, where you've been. Your body a vessel, a shell so true, your soul the captain, guiding you through. Reflections of the past, thoughts that, roam. Intricate patterns that make up home. Knowledge accumulated near and far, shaping your identity like a guiding star. Your memories, your thoughts intertwined, a tapestry of the soul's design. In this world where we all must play our part, remember always your soul is who experienced. Your body is but a shell. You see where I'm coming from? Like, listen, everything you have experienced in life is up here. It's in your mind. Right? So where people, I've asked a lot of people, like, yo, where does your soul, or, where in your body, where is your soul at? And so many people point to their chest. But reading the books that I read and watching a lot of these videos, right, that deal with philosophy and stuff like that, right? Even science, right? Even when you look at science, right, it tells you that your soul is up here, your conscience. I mean, listen, man, shout out to the word, all right? He be having some great conversations and some great topics, all right? And he be breaking a lot of this stuff down on his own channel, all right? But I feel as though that, we've reached 2026 and a lot of people, listen, man, a lot of people have lost their morals. I mean, they've been losing it for years. And I'm not talking about everybody, right? I'm just speaking in general. If what I say or someone in my chat says, right, offends you, please exit stage left, right? Please exit stage left. The door's right there. Just make sure the doorknob doesn't hit you or the good Lord split you, right? Because there's too many people on this John, all right, with, how can I say, bruised egos, right? And I'm not a babysitter. I'm not a priest, right? Like, for real. But like I said, listen, man, my grandpa used to say you can't make money in the middle, right? And this is something I teach my kids, right? I have conversations with my kids every single day, and I always make sure that I bring up something that my grandfather taught me, all right? Like, in the middle of war, you cannot make money. But it's like right now, I don't know if there's something in the air, something they threw in the air, when the pandemic hit us and stuff like that. But it's been happening before, so I can't blame the pandemic for real, right? You can't blame the pandemic when shit like this has been happening for a while. It's just, how can I say it? It just seems to, been getting worse, right? And we're the reason. We're the cause of all the stuff that is happening to us, right? Because what's crazy is, right, like, we could all be happy, for real. You look at it, but it's unfortunate, right? Some people's souls are willing to receive while others aren't. It's like this, right? On this poem, it's called "Beyond the Surface," and this poem goes like this: In a world of colors, we all stand apart, but it's the energy inside that that reveals the heart. Some keep it real while others wear a mask. True intentions shine bright, no need to bask. Different shades of skin don't define who we are. It's the authenticity that sets us near or far. Some speak the truth while others deceive, but in the end, only genuine souls receive. Don't be fooled by appearances or false display. The real essence within will always find its way. Honesty and integrity will always prevail. In a world full of shades, true colors never fail. So let's break beyond the surface and see what lies beneath. For true character is found in the energy we bequeath. In a sea of diversity, let authenticity guide. My bad. In a sea of diversity, let authenticity guide our view. Different shades of color, but what matters is you. Right? Like, listen, if we start focusing, all right, on bettering our homes, all right, ourselves, because it starts from home, all right. We start focusing ourselves, right, bettering ourselves, and then start trying to help those after we've, been able to get on our feet. Then we can start focusing on helping those that actually need it, those that want it, You can't sit here and focus on the one that doesn't want it because that soul is not ready to receive what you're giving or what you're telling them. Right? And that's a battle that us as humans have constantly. And I'm not a therapist. This is just, things that I perceive, all right, throughout a daily basis, right? Like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force that horse to drink that, right? Like, you could teach an old heads, new tricks, right? But they want to stick to their old tricks. You can't, tell that old head, look, listen, it's okay to do this. My point, of all this, right, is that there's so much hate out here, and in reality, there's no reason for it. All right, like I said earlier, right, all of us fight our demons in the same hell, just in different ways. All right, like I listen, me and you could have the same skills. We could be good at cooking, all right, but there could be something better about your technique than there is mine. So why hate? If anything, right, I just need to improve me, not try to not try to compete with the person whose technique is better. No, man, there's something wrong with what I'm doing. Let me get better and where, I'm messing up. See, my competition isn't with the people around me. My competition is with me, the old version of me. I'm trying to be better than the person that I was yesterday. But people out here are trying to be better than the person next to them. See, I want that person to succeed, right? And I want to bury the old me. I'm not trying to compete with the world because I'm not trying to be at war. There's no money being made when we're in the middle of war. But people don't want to hear that part, right? Like, that's why, listen, for the past 7 years, well, I'm not going to say 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. I've had the idea, all right? I wanted to start this community center, right? Because what happened to my son happened, right? I wasn't just, helping my son out. It's crazy is that he had friends, right? And a lot of his friends, right, were sitting here. They was telling their stories. And I'm sitting here, I was like, yo, I'm just listening, right? And I'm like, damn, like, what can we do to make this change, right? And, but at that time, when I first started all this, right, Girl Scouts wasn't really out here yet. I guess they was just starting the process of bringing Girl Scouts back and stuff like that. But they wasn't really out here. Now Girl Scouts is out there, and I'm promoting Girl Scouts heavy as shit. All right, I gotta my daughter, right, is a part of Girl Scouts. I gotta pay her membership this year so she can start going right now in April when they start doing the cookies and all that. Because listen, Girl Scouts teaches your daughters entrepreneurship, leadership, all right, a whole lot of shit, man. How to become leaders, all right, how to be great young ladies, and much more. The same thing you could teach your daughter, right? But there's a lot of parents, right, that all right, they're able to teach their kids, but they still gotta go to work. So, Girl Scouts is a good thing that you could put your daughter into, right? But here's the thing that I've been talking about years. We could always find resources and programs for our girls. But when it comes to our boys, it's like they're left to the side. We're trying to figure it out. When are we going to figure out what resources we need for our boys? Why can't we just bring out programs? We used to have the Big Brother program, but now unless the young man or the little boy, how can I say, commit something, a violent crime or something, the Big Brother program doesn't intervene. All right, like, listen, I can go about this in so many ways. All right, I could talk about the single mothers struggling, all right, or why the baby daddy is not in there. Some don't want their baby daddies in their lives. All right, so they're going to struggle, right, because they choose to. Then there's others that for whatever the reason is, their baby daddy is not there, and it's not because they chose. All right, and they're still great mothers. All right, but some of them, how can I say, can be real neglectful. If you're neglectful, does that take away from you being a great mother? These are conversations that are needed, right? I mean, listen, I say that my mom was a good mother, right? My mom was a wonderful mother, but she failed. She had flaws because, I'm not going to sit here and say, look, listen, my mom was born in the 60s, all right? She was born in the 60s. And she was born in PR before she came to Philadelphia. And listen, the way they was raised, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, damn, Like, and then I look at her sisters and her brothers, which are my aunts and uncles, right? And it's like, yeah, y'all all needed therapy. Yeah, I'm talking about my family, right? I'm not gonna talk about anybody else's family. So I'm just gonna throw out a little bit of mine. So he, like, yeah, like, listen, I look at my aunts and uncles. I'm like, yo, all of y'all need therapy. Like, y'all needed some type of counseling growing up, but y'all too old for me to tell y'all now. Shit, stay the fuck over there. I'm over here. Hi, auntie, I love you. See you later. Real shit. That's how it be with me. Man, look, listen. They say blood thicker than water, but sometimes water, I don't know. Water be looking out more for blood. I don't know what it is. Like, listen, sometimes somebody that's outside of the family, all right, could look out for you better than what your family does. Sometimes, listen, family members are your biggest haters, right? So is your friends, people around you. Envy is real. That shit, listen, envy, listen. I feel as though envy is worse than hate, but it's as strong as hate. If y'all understand where I'm coming from. We got Gary Busted Down Brown in the building. Shout out to my OG. You named yourself. Oh, it's Gary Brown now. My bad. It's Gary. Is this Gary Busted Down Brown? Yeah, that is because of the first message in the chat, man. Shout out to my OG, man. Make sure y'all go check out Gary Busted Down Brown. Great conversations, great topics, all right? But listen, I got the idea to do this community center, right? A few years back. And I had a couple obstacles, but I didn't give up on this community center, right? I got my LLC. I made it as far to get my LLC, all right? And it's crazy because as soon as I got my EIN, right? Because I had my LLC first, and I went and got my EIN. Yes, listen, I was a little backwards in the beginning, but I got it together, right? And then everybody was sending me all around the world. I was like, what do? I want to start the community center. I want to help these kids, right? And I got the right ideas, right? And what's crazy is, right, what I started to do was, and I started this like 3 summers ago, right? And I noticed that it was a good idea. So I was like, yo, if I get the funds to get this community center on and popping, right? And this will get a lot of kids off the streets. But we have to start off, with a good foundation, right? And I've been working on it. I've been working on this drone for a minute, right? Like, I've tried to get support here, I try to get support there, but it's like everybody wants things to work fast, and it's not like that. All right, I'm starting from the ground up. All right, in my community center, yes, we got so many community centers out in Philadelphia, right? We need some in the hood, really, like in the heart of the hood, but a lot of the kids can't make it to it, right? So when I sat here, right, I was started my business. I was selling T-shirts, right, and I had started my R for L brand, right. And I'm sitting here, I was like, yo, let me give this a shot. I was like, yo, I pulled out the grill one day, right? And we started making, I seasoned all this meat. I got my homie to come with me, my kid's godmother. I got a few of the young boys together. I was like, look, listen, y'all want to make some money? Let's do this. And I just did it. I was like, look, listen, fuck it. This is what we're going to do, all right? Just to try it out. They keep all the profit. They was like, no. I was like, listen, I keep the re-up. They keep the profit, right? Like, that's how it goes, right? And I wanted them to get motivated. So, all right, we put the pinchos out, right? The shish kebabs. I was making empanadillas, pastelillos, right? So I had the young boys. I was like, look, listen, each one of y'all got to come up with your own brand. All right, what type of logos would y'all like your shirts to, for y'all to sell? And they started coming up. I was like, fuck it, go on the computer, boom, 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 boom. And I got lives on this, all right? Like, it's crazy as it sounds, right? Like, a lot of them came up with their own little logos, right? And they started selling their T-shirts, and it started popping. I was like, okay, this shit works. This next summer, I did the same thing, right? And they was really, really hype. I was like, yo. And then I started doing the lives. I tried to do the fundraiser, John, and that John won. So what I did was I let everybody keep their profit. I was like, this works, but I need I need the proper way to sell this. Like, how can I say it? To sell this to the people, all right? Because if I can get a community center open right now, the kids aren't the only ones profiting. The parents are, right? Now we'll have parents that have jobs and kids that are starting jobs, starting careers, their careers, right? Learning how to become entrepreneurships, leaders, All right, businessmen and business women, young men and young women, young ladies, y'all understand me, right? Blessings, blessings. We got Purple Heart Podcast 2.0 in the building. Shout out to her. Make sure y'all go check her out. All right, guys. Um, but like I got the right idea. I was like, all right, fuck it. It's gonna be hard as shit to do this. So what I'm gonna do is, right, I have to do a day where I set an event. All right. Now I know that the food sells. I know that the shirts sell. So what I'm gonna do is, right, and I came up with this drawing last summer because I was like, one way or another, I need somewhere for the kids to come. I was like, I can't open the community center up, right? Because like the lady told me a few months ago, right? And I came and I talked to y'all about it, right? She's like, you have to build your own board, right? Get a board of 5 members, all right? And let everybody know that in the beginning, nobody's going to be making money because everything's coming out of our pockets, right? And then we're going to have to like set like little fundraisers, little GoFundMes and stuff like that, get everything started, all right? Once we got the 5 members and stuff like that, all right, then from there, the board, all right, here in Philadelphia will sit here and listen to us. All right, and they'll give us a seat at their board, all right, and then that way, we'll be able to, how can I say, receive funds and do this and do that. All right, it's a tier to it, all right, and it's gonna take a minute. So mind you, I just started this shit last summer. Last summer with the idea. All right, I came up, how can I say, I came up to y'all. When was it? Like 2 or 3 months ago when I had the talk with one of the board members here at the school, at one of the school meetings here at my daughter's school, right? And we was talking about it, and I was hype. I was like, damn, and I got started on it. And that's what I've been working on. All right. So far, I know it's me and my fiance were the 2 members of this board. All right. I'm not sure if the word. He said he is. So if the word is on board, he'll be a 3rd person. And the word is from Detroit, man. Shout out to the word. All right. And I would love to work with the word because listen, the word. He's a mentor for these young men. And what his idea will be perfect for what I want to do when it comes to this community center. And I want this community center to expand, not just here in Philadelphia, everywhere. Because the idea that I have will benefit these kids, all right? We need to start teaching these kids, all right? Listen, I want to reach these kids from the age of 6 and up. Let's teach them how to garden. Let's teach them how to do the things they got to do. We got Uncle Earl in the building. Welcome to Philly, baby. Yo, my nose is swollen. Damn, I got swelled up. Damn, that's really affecting me. Yeah, I can see it. And this is not fat because I've been losing my weight. I just, listen, I checked my weight. I'm losing that, John. I got a couple more pounds to go. Then y'all gonna see my pretty skinny face again. But damn, my face got swelled up. That's what happens. The muscle spasms and stuff from the herniated disc, it swells my whole body up. That shit strong. I was down for a week, yo. Like I'm telling y'all, I couldn't move. And I forced that on. Yo, listen. I kept looking at myself like, you only, listen, Ray, get it together. You're 36. You ain't no grandma. You gotta get off the bed. Get off. Fight that pain. And that ain't no joke, man. I was walking around this joint like a grandma. My daughter over here imitating. She like, you old head, you old. I was like, oh my God, this is how I treated my mom. And she was, and I used to call my mom an old head. I'm like, damn. You gotta love these kids though. But back on topic. My bad. Shout out to Uncle L. All right, make sure y'all go check out Uncle L. But yeah, I listen. I've been working hard, all right, for this idea to actually, this idea to come to life, all right. I got the LLC. I'm working on my 501c form, all right, so that way I can get funds from the government. But I don't want to just, how can I say receive funds from the government? I want us to work together as a community. You see where I'm coming from? Like, I don't want the funds to just come from the government, all right? Like, I want this to stay within Riders for Life, right? As crazy as it sounds, right? I don't want the government to own what we're starting, all right? I want this to be for the community. I want the next person to inherit what I came up with to be, a part of the community, not somebody that's outside of it. It sounds crazy. You see where I'm coming from? But it's like, I want our kids to prosper. I don't want them to keep being stuck. I don't want them to keep going through the same cycle. Somewhere along the line, all right, we have to break the cycle. Right. And the last time I came on this John, right, and not the last live I did, right, but on one of the lives that I did, right, I think it was a few months ago. We was breaking down the policies and all this stuff, right? And now that we've been diving down the rabbit holes, right, I've been constantly telling y'all, right, and it's something that I've said before. It's the foundation, right? This foundation that is running America, all right, that's governing America. It is a foundation that is still stuck in the 16 and 1700s. How do we change that? I don't know. You see where I'm coming from? That's something we have to figure out. Policies change throughout the years. All right. A lot of stuff changed throughout the years. All right. Politicians. All right. All that changes throughout the years. But what hasn't changed is that foundation. All right. That foundation, George Washington, William Penn, and all of them started. It hasn't changed. So with that being said, listen, I don't want to start no wars or nothing. I'm gonna leave that at that unless somebody's willing to talk about it and have a conversation. Other than that, I'm gonna leave it right there. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say with that, right? And if you don't understand it, either went under your head or under it. All right, like listen, it's too much going on for me to sit here and argue, right? When I am like sitting here trying to make how can I say a change within these policies, right? Within my own community and stuff like that. Like, listen. It's okay. I know like a lot of people like the drama, but not over here. Shit. We got the beautiful Miss Chicago in the building. Shout out to Miss Chicago. Shout out to Young Riaz, yo. We got Young Riaz in this drum. Make sure y'all go check out my young boy, all right? With his little shorts from the UK. But yeah, man, like, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and lie, right? Let's say, I've tried to come up with different things, right, to see how I get the funds to get this building. I got the building, I got the location. Old head said, "Look, listen, I love you, Shorty. I watched you grow up." She's like, "I don't want to give my building up. I love my building," but it's like, she's got but so long left. Her husband just passed away, right? And listen, and she broke down. And I was like, yo, if I could just, if I could sit here and gather up 25K right now, I would grip your building up because it's got enough rooms for me to make enough, workshop for the kids. All right. It's got the main building right there in the front. It's got a whole big ass kitchen where I could do fundraisers and stuff like that to gain money to help and, keep the building running, paying the bills and much more. All right. Like, as crazy as it sounds, I got the idea. I got the place. I just got to get the money together. Like, and listen, shout out to Beautiful One. Because yesterday, she reminded me of everything I was doing when she, was talking about what she was talking on her panel. I got the little clip right here. I hopped on her panel and I wanted to, speak with her a little bit. But she, I think she was talking to Ronald. No, who was she talking to? Who hopped on she was talking. It was a few people on the panel. I know Miss Akimi was there and Miss Yo Talks. All right. Shout out to them. I forgot. I know it was a few guys on there. I forgot who the heck they was, but they was up there, and they was kind of talking about what was going on this YouTube thing, and I didn't really want to get involved. I just really wanted to give my input on what she was talking about when she was saying that we have to start with the kids, when they're young. I got the little part right here. I hope I stopped it at the part that I wanted to show y'all. All right, because she's not wrong. Right, like I wanted to hop up there and say it yesterday, but like it was so much talking, I couldn't really do it. So I'm gonna take the opportunity and I'm gonna say it now. All right, like she was, Beautiful One's correct yesterday, right? And this is something that I've been preaching for years. And if y'all been watching me, y'all know it's something I've been saying for years. All right, we have to start with our kids when they're young. That's why when this community center idea came up, right? And in the beginning, people was like, "Oh, we got so many communities." Yes, y'all do. But what are in these community centers? Why don't these kids really want to go? I get what they got, but see, what I want to do is bring I want to bring back a little bit of the old school and twist it up with what we got now, what the kids are used to now. I want to teach these kids how to garden, how to do things. I want to team up. All right, I'm already teaming up with people within the community that throw events or people that have organizations and stuff. All right, like make Philadelphia more beautiful. there's another organization. I got her card right here that deals with gardening and teaching kids how to and they got here we go. What's the name of this group right here? It's called Chain Reeducation, and they're starting programs for our kids and stuff like that. All right, and she's the CEO. So I'm teaming up with CEOs. I'm teaming up with people. All right, they're giving me all these ideas, and I'm like, damn, I gotta get up off my ass and do this shit. But on social media, I can't really do it. So like that's why a little while ago y'all heard me say, listen, I'm not gonna go live as much. Y'all gonna see more videos, more shorts. I'm gonna try to get y'all some more poetry up on this John because I'm serious about this. All right. Shout out to Beautiful One, all right, for bringing that up yesterday. All right, and reminding the Shorty, yo, this is what the fuck you on this bitch for. All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can share her little. Hopefully she don't quit YouTube over this, YouTube bullshit. I'm hoping I'm on the right spot, but I'm gonna play a little portion of her video because I want y'all to listen to what she said, all right, and y'all will understand everything I'm trying to say. Because listen, for the longest I've been trying to say it, like, listen, what my idea ain't the same as every other community center out there. A lot of these politicians, a lot of these organizations love my idea. I just got to find a way to come up with the money, get this building, boom, get this board build up. Boom. All right. And it's going to take some time. And that's why I love showing my work. You see where I'm coming from? Like, in a lot of occasions, when it comes to me putting boots on the ground, I like working behind the scenes. I like doing community work. Right. What I mean by that is I do a lot of volunteer work. I don't want my name put out there when I'm doing volunteer work because if it's volunteer, it's volunteer, like I'm saying it right now. Right. And I love working behind the scenes. And nobody knows who you are because you get to learn, you get to see. Right? And it gives me more ideas on how I can do certain things. The question is, how do I put it together? Who do I trust enough that I can partner up with? Because in this world, it's hard to trust. Right? And I want to leave this behind. Right? Whether it's my kids that inherit or someone else's kids that inherit.
If you have this in mind, brother, and you got somebody like me, why don't you fucking utilize your source? You say, hey, I want to help kids. You say, Beautiful One, she wants to help. Why not? I start this organization and I know Beautiful One wants to help. Why don't? But see, here's the thing. Now you're the middleman. And you're saying, okay, now I can actually be helping these children. Plus, I can be saying, okay, well, I know she wants to help our community.
Right.
You're going to be a part of it. See, the problem I got, baby.
Facts, OG.
Everybody telling me what I need to do, and they ain't doing it.
Nah, see, that's the thing.
So if you said, Beautiful One, I got an organization, you want to donate to it? And you show me your organization, and I'm with it. But see, when you come up here and you tell me, baby, that I should be doing this and I should be doing that, see, that's where I'm getting it confused because I'm on here speaking about what I want to do as far as Black content creators.
Now. Oh, see, like I said, it's nothing against you. And I wouldn't tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Right. What I'm saying is when Black people bring up the Black community, I don't know exactly what type of community that they want to help as far as the Black community. When I think about the Black community, I think about the future. And like I said, the kids are the future. And I'm not talking about 7-year-olds. I'm talking about the 17, 18-year-olds.
But see, Ronald, we're talking younger. We got to start younger. That's why this idea that I have with this community center is perfect. If I could I got the right pitch. When I pitch it out to these politicians. That's not my issue. Here's my issue. I've had a couple obstacles. All right. Like 2 years ago. All right. Those that have been following me, right? Those that have been following me know that I got into a car accident. That's how I got these 5 herniated discs. That's why I was complaining about my swollen face and my swollen hands earlier. Because the jaw, for a week already, I've been dealing with my back. All right. It's been a while. Like, listen, I was like, damn, I have to take these damn pills. And now I got to take these stupid pills. Right. So I had to take some pills to get my muscles to relax for me to be able to work out. And I'm in this jaw for like a week straight. All right. Every morning and every night, every morning when I wake up and every night before I go to sleep, I'm trying to do some yoga because I got to stretch my body out. I got to work through it because I'm not staying in no damn bed. All right. And then y'all telling me it's a 90% chance that I'm going to stay paralyzed if I do the surgery. So no, we're going to do this the natural way. I'm going back to work because I can walk. I can do. But listen, we've had obstacles. My whole point with that is, right? My whole point with that is, because we're not going to make this about me. My whole point is, right, that regardless of anything, regardless of anything, all right, we have to fight. We have to keep pushing. We can't give up. We have to be consistent. You see where I'm coming from? There was a point in time where I was consistent on this, John, speaking on the petitions, right? And then, I get thrown off a little bit, right? And I go right into like the celebrity shit sometimes, or I'll switch it up. But I have to do that. You see where I'm coming from? I have to mix it up because my subscribers, right, like different things. So I try to mix it up sometimes, but there's a point in time where like, Ray, come back to reality. You see where I'm coming from? Stop diving down rabbit holes. But damn, I love diving down rabbit holes because learning from past mistakes, right, teaches me what I can borrow from the past so that I could, put it on the table right here. Damn, this is a solution. I came up with this, from doing research. What if we stop doing this because it's not, but some people don't want to hear that. All right. But the thing is, we have to be consistent regardless of anything, because just because this person doesn't want to hear what you got to say doesn't mean that this person later on, what you said, it needed to reach them. Hopefully I said that in a way that y'all could understand me. All right. Oh, I could write my own pitch for real. I like using the AI chat for my like thumbnails and how can I say titles and stuff like that. But a pitch, I could write it. I just need to sit down in a quiet room, dim the lights down, and think, and I could just write my own pitch. I'm good at writing. I'm really, really good at writing. For real. Like, writing is not my issue. Let me see. I don't even think this is the one. This is the right book. Shit. It's because I'm transferring this into the computer. Right? Let me see. I have a poem. Listen, I've always thought like this before we continue Beautiful One's video and I say what I say. Listen, this poem is called Where the Roots Grow, right? And it says, forget the president. Let's focus local. Helping in our community is the vocal. Lead by example. Make a change. Politics feel like a circus. So strange. Neighbors need us more than ever. Together we can make things better. Forget the drama. Let's unite. Local action shine much brighter than the political fight. Don't get lost in the political show. Real change starts right where we grow. Community first. That's the key. Let's lead by example and set ourselves free. Right? Like, I could write my own pitches. I've been writing my own pitches for the longest. AI messes up my pitches. I'm not gonna lie. When I sit here and I use AI for my pitches, right, it wants to like rewrite everything that my thoughts are saying, and I hate that. Right? Like, I really hate when the AI sits here. I'm like, no, man, I need this pitch to be raw and uncut. I just don't need it to be cussing, because like I can have a potty mouth, and I had to learn, like, when you sitting here debating and talking to these politicians, watch your tone. All right, you can get, your voice can get as husky as you want it to get, as long as you're respectful. Like, I've learned how to deal with the politicians. I haven't had a problem with none of these politicians. You see where I'm coming from? My issue is more with the community, right? And that's why, I say that for me, like when it comes to social media, it's a little harder. That's why my biggest focus isn't on social media. It's out here. But I still try to be as consistent, all right, as I can with my message. You see where I'm coming from? Because I don't want people to keep, oh, this is, a beef. No, this is not that. Like, no matter what we do here, all right, I try to make sure that, we keep everything leveled. All right. Like this right here, like, listen, I want people to understand it is about the kids. And we got to start when they're younger. Like, people fail to realize, right? And there's another thing. I've said this on lives, right? A lot of these kids watch our content. I had to learn with my kids' friends. I didn't even know that a lot of them was watching the content that I was making. Whereas in one day I said, oh, snap, yo, I didn't even know y'all was watching my videos. I was like, I came on this live and I was like, yo, okay, I got to stop cussing. I've done good, but there's times where I slip up, especially when I'm talking about exposing a predator or, listen, y'all know what I'm good for. Listen, our shirts are coming in soon. Like, I got some I gotta order me some vinyl and I gotta go to the store. All right. I'm gonna see if I go Thursday to the store and I'm gonna do a live. All right. We gonna make some shirts, all right? Because we gonna be, listen, we gotta do the we building caskets up in this John. All right. And I think I got another one because I got a phrase that I got to put on 2 shirts. We definitely gonna do that shit on Thursday. But like I told y'all, man, like, listen, when I show these kids out here what you could do and how you can make money, right? Because I was taught as a kid. Listen, if they called me to babysit, I got paid. All right. If they called me to clean their lawn, their backyard, their front, their basement, I got paid. To clean their car, I got paid. No matter what they called me for, I got paid. They taught me that. All right. And listen, I remember when one day one of my one of my old heads, right? They pulled me to the side and they was like, look, listen, we're gonna do something a little different today. All right. And I was like, what? They was like, I want you to tell me, right, how much you want me to pay you. I said, what? And listen, I was like 12 years old, right? I was like, I don't know. And I was used to them just giving me what they gave me, right? He's like, listen, you come here every day. I'm your boss, right? Tell me what you want me to pay you for the job that you are, doing in my house today. I was like, I don't know. She's like, what's your worth? I was like, my worth? Yo, boy, when I tell you that she sat down and gave me a lecture, listen. We got MTGV Crime Podcast in the building. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Make sure y'all go check out MTGV Crime Podcast. All right, great conversations, great topics. Listen, man, I love watching her channel, yo. She's one of my favorite content creators. Have you gone live? I haven't gotten a notification from this MTGV. Damn, YouTube. But I'm gonna press play on this, all right, real quick. But I want y'all to see, look, listen, Beautiful One says something that I've been saying here for the past 7 years on YouTube. All right. We do gotta start young, all right, with our kids. And for whatever the reason is, some of these kids don't have what they need at home. All right. That's why I came up with this, community center idea. It doesn't just help the kids, right, get off these streets and have them, give them something to do, but it teaches them. It helps them, all right? It motivates them. It inspires them. And they're making money at the same time to get the things that they need and want.
The 19, 20-year-olds.
I have to start younger because here's the thing. See, I'm already there with you. I have a teenager, so I have a 19-year-old. So I would say I would start younger because the youth, the ones that's under that, the 5 and 6 and 7s and 8. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, baby. I had little girls that I was friends with that were already molested by the time they were 9 and 10. You understand what I'm saying? So all of this, kumbaya, we hoping that these kids are hurt. You got a lot of fucked up ass 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, don't matter. So the age stuff, we can't even worry about. We just got to help children, period. Regardless. And we got to help people, period. Because you got people out here, 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds that's abused, 50-year-olds that's abused. So I want us to get out of the age thing. You understand?
Well, I do understand what you're saying, but like I said, when you bring up the Black community, see, you're not talking about people in general, human beings in general.
Autumn Speak says someone is streaming my live. Who is streaming my live?
Bishop.
Oh God. Well, it doesn't matter. He can do it.
Yeah, but whenever, like I said, it's all about, my thing is, if the Black community doesn't get mentioned, then what I'm saying will be irrelevant. But once you bring up the Black community and you want to empower the Black community, when one person say that,
Black community, Ronald, because we got some fucked up ass people in our community.
Well, that's just how it is. I mean, that's just.
But hold up, let me say this to you, baby. The reason why I say that, I don't want to say I want to empower everybody. I want to empower good people. You know what I'm saying?
What she's trying to say is that she want to help those that want it, not those that don't want it. A lot of people are not ready to receive blessings. They're really not.
I just don't want to empower. I just got to empower the Black community. I know somebody Black right now, Black man, just fucking took a child and raped him and threw him in the fucking garbage.
Right. Of course not. But
you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I don't like groups.
But
you know what I'm saying? So as far as like my people, my people as a whole, the ones who I see out here, the Black people out here who are trying to make it, who are trying to do well, hell yes, I'm with it. But I'm not with that group just saying I want to just empower everybody, every Black man, every Black woman. I'm just saying all the good people, not bad, the good people. Here and I'm going to be the savior. See, I don't believe in that. I believe everybody should have their own part. I run a business. My thing is I have operations. I can't do some of the things that some of my employees can do. They can only do those jobs. So when y'all come on here telling me what I should be doing with my money, how about this? You do it. And then when you do it, you show us what you do.
That's a fact. For those of y'all that haven't checked out Beautiful One, man, make sure y'all go check out Beautiful One. All right. She has great conversations, great topics, yo. But yeah, she was making a great point, and that's what I've been trying to say for the longest. All right, it's our kids that I'm trying to reach. Listen, I could talk to the adults all day. All right, there's only a few that I'm going to say here, and how can I say, have a like-minded conversation with. Right, a lot of the adults, their minds are already made up. That's why I'm saying, like, if you're down with it, you down with it. If you're not, then listen, the door right there. Just make sure the doorknob doesn't hit you with a good Lord split you. You see where I'm coming from? I'm not going to beg people that don't want the help to get the help. You can't. Because then you're going to be beating your head against the wall. You're not going to get nowhere. Like, social media has proven that, for real. That's why, when it comes to a lot of the content creators here on social media, a lot of them I don't even take serious. A lot of them I don't even pay no mind. I don't even share, promote, like, none of that, or pop up on the chats. A lot of them I stopped watching because I noticed what they're really about. When you let people talk long enough, and when they show you who they really is and what they're really about, right? And you could tell that a lot of people on this drawing is really just for the bullshit, for real. So it's like, I'm not going to sit here and do the same thing they doing. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna leave you where you at. My energy and your energy is not meeting. All right. If anything, how can I say they crashing? They're crashing. Like, my energy is put in a stop sign, like a little barrier, a shield. All right. And it's not letting your energy come through for a reason, because it's toxic. And y'all know what we do over here when it comes to toxicity, right? When toxic people, we throw that shit out the window and we Kobe it into a trash can and forget about them like yesterday's newspaper, because that's what they is, irrelevant. We cannot let people knock us off our hinges. All right. And people love doing that. All right. Because I'm gonna put it like this: if you are speaking on a celebrity, right, or you give an opinion about something that's happened on social media, people think right away that you have a channel that's for beef and you know you want to argue or you're about the mess, which is not true. You see where I'm coming from? If you pay attention to the content creators, right, you can see who's really out here for the people and who really wants to make a change and a difference, right? And you can also see who's, you know, how can I say it? Out here just for the shits. Where the heck is going on with my... Okay, here we go. Like, social media is divided. Hold up. What's going on? Give me 1 second, guys. Because this John is acting stupid. Listen, social media is divided. I don't get tired. Everybody definitely can't be helped. They will drag. Listen, you ain't lying. I've sat here and tried to help people. All right. Y'all know that. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. All right. I don't normally talk about my personal life like that, but I'm gonna throw something out there for y'all. All right. It's crazy because I grew up with somebody, right? And I thought that because we grew up with each other and we saw each other like sisters, right, and stuff like that, oh, we was gonna be cool. I thought that that person was always gonna stand by my side. You see where I'm coming from? But it turned out that it wasn't like that. All right, so we all change after a while. You see where I'm coming from? Some change for the good, some change for the bad, right? And sometimes when you change to grow up, those next to you that are not ready to grow up, you see where I'm coming from, end up going that way, right? They end up leaving, or you end up leaving the circle, right? And it just turns out that, you know, I grew up after, you know, a while, right? I had 2 kids already, right? The person that, you know, that I was around for a long time that I thought was my right hand, right? My sister, right? She had a child, so I'm thinking like, all right, now I'm on my second child. She's older than me. That was the funny part. Like for a minute, like when I was younger, I really used to look up to her, like for real. But it's like as I got older, right, I started noticing that, and it's crazy, right? Because I used to I had to sit down and talk to my fiance about this, right? And I'm like, yo, I don't know what it is, right? Like, I don't hate her, but I feel as though, like, we're into different things now. Like, I just wish she stopped doing the dumb shit that she's doing. I don't, you know, I got 2 kids now. I don't want her to feel like, you know, I don't care. Like, she's not my sister no more. She don't want to listen. She's not understanding. And I'm saying, it's like, yo, it gets like a point in time where it's like, you don't get tired. Like, you risking your child every day. And I'm not willing to risk mine, right? And then when I spoke my mind, that person got so mad. And it was like I became the worst person in the world, a villain. And it's like, you just don't understand. Like, I love you, I rocks with you, but I gotta go. Because you keep putting yourself in situations that keep pushing us 10 steps back when we've already made it 20 steps forward. That'd be the crazy part. That'd be the crazy part. Here we go. See, this is how I see social media, guys. I don't get tired of telling people that social media is going to be the death.
On this YouTube platform, we can't seem to get along. We have leaders and followers, but the divide is strong. Leaders leading the way, teaching the youth their path, how to be kings and queens, showing by example who can lead the path. But on here's all for clicks and views, emotions running high, hurting and bullying others with no excuse, not taking accountability for their actions, pointing fingers and blame, reflecting on others who they really are. It's all just a game. Here on this app is a different story. Elders acting like children, seeking attention and glory. They forget the values they were supposed to instill. Instead, they spread hate and negativity. It's all a bitter pill. I used to look up to those older than me, but now I see them for who they really be. Lost in their own insecurities and fears, unable to see the damage they caused to those. I never thought I lose respect for so many elders, but here I am feeling disappointed and ashamed. I hold on to the lessons from the true elders I know, and leave behind those who can't let their ego go. In a world where respect is earned, not given, I'll keep my distance from those who are driven by their own selfish desires and need for control. I'll stay true to myself and keep my soul. Never in my life did I think that I would lose respect for so many elders like on this app, but I hold on to the values that were taught to me and continue to strive for respect and integrity. Respect for elders, the luxury we give, but some lack morals. How can we live? Demanding respect yet lacking honor, playing the victim, causing drama. The elders I admire, they lead with grace. Their actions speak louder in every case. They don't seek attention or play games. Their wisdom and kindness forever remain. But on this app is a different scene. Elders behaving like children, so mean. Men bashing women, women playing the victim, bringing each other down. It's a sad. Let's learn from the elders who lead with respect, not from those who cause drama and neglect. Let's strive for honor, morals, and grace, and leave behind this toxic childish race.
That's the issue we're having. That's the issue that we're having. Right? Stop! I was trying to pause you. That's the issue that we're having. All right, we got too many grown adults out here, all right, acting like children. And me personally, I feel as though, all right, a lot of us need to leave this childish race behind. Like, as crazy as it is, right? I don't know if it's because I was forced to grow ahead of time, and what I mean by that, right? I was made a woman ahead of time. All right, my childhood was taken from me. Did I have a childhood? Yes. All right, like, but the majority of my life, right? Like, I listen, I had a dark past, all right, and I had to learn how to overcome that. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to be here for my family. Like, there was a while where I didn't just hate men because of what happened to me in my past. There was a while where I hated women because my mom. You see where I'm coming from? Listen, my mom broke the biggest trust that she could ever break, right? And it's crazy that when you're kids, right, you think that, how can I say it? Where's my book at? I think it's probably down here. When you're kids, you think that, your parents, right, are like these gods that you idolize and you look up to. But you don't realize that your parents have flaws. You see where I'm coming from? Like, listen, I'm gonna read y'all this, all right? And I haven't published it, all right? This is not my first time doing it. All right. Because this is one of the books that I'm working on. It's taking me a little while because when you go into the past, sometimes you get stuck in that past. And when you get stuck in that past, it's like you need to find yourself, you need to find a way out of that maze that you got yourself into. But you didn't get yourself into it this time to dwell on it. You got yourself into it because you want to help the next person, right? That's the whole purpose of this book, right? There's a lot of, young ladies out here. There's a lot of young men out here that have been through, abuse, right? Mentally, physically, sexually, in their homes, right? We all go through something differently, all right? But me, listen, I wrote this, all right? So I'm gonna read y'all these little pages, all right? Because it's crazy, right? Shout out to Beautiful One. She spoke on it yesterday on her live, right? It's one of the reasons that I speak up for a lot of women too, right? Like, I was able to overcome my past. And it's funny, right? Because when people want to when people want to bash you and they want to bring you down, they think they could do that with your past, right? And I laugh sometimes, right? I'm able to laugh now. I laugh because a lot of people try. They try to go towards my past. And they think oh, wait, I could hurt her. I can't cry no more. I face those demons. You see where I'm coming from? Never will I ever give another person the power to bond over mine. You see where I'm coming from? People don't understand that, right? And I've overcome that past, right? And I didn't know that when I started all this, right? When I was defending my son, when I was helping him, right, fight for his rights because the school did what they did to him, right? I didn't know that in that moment, right? There was a moment in time around that time where, the pressure came on, right? My mom was still alive at this time, right? And it was like I needed her, but my mom wasn't really there. You see where I'm coming from, right? But she was there. But at the time that I needed her, she was going through what she was going through, and it was like, right? I didn't listen. I didn't know where my dad was at around the time, but listen, my biggest support came from my fiance. It came from the people, that say, "Yo, I'm your family." Those that I thought that at one point, right? Because it took a while for me to see that those people really cared about me, right? Before I used to push them away, and so, you know, God took things from me that, right? I'm going to sit here and say that made me realize, right, that tomorrow's never promised. You can't hold grudges, right? The first person God took from me was the father of my kids, right? And it was like, and I feel as though he didn't do it to hurt me. You see where I'm coming from? Like, he did it to make me realize, like, yo, get rid of this anger you have in your heart because it's spreading like a virus and you're the cause, right? And I'm looking in the mirror and I hate the person staring back at me. Next thing I know is, boom, he takes him. And I'm questioning, like, whoa, I didn't even get to say goodbye. I didn't even get to say I'm sorry, right? Because the last words for me to that man was, I hate you. You see where I'm coming from? And it's like, now I could talk about it. Before I couldn't. All that was happening to me, right? And then my son was going through after God took my kid's father away from me, my boy's father, right? Because I got 3 kids. 2 are by one man and he's deceased, man. He had peace in paradise. And my daughter is by my fiance, right? I didn't know that in that path, right? He was already putting somebody in my path, and it was my fiance. Mind you, me and my fiance in the beginning, we were just friends, right? But we had this like love-hate relationship. It's like I couldn't stand the bull. Like, dude, why is you here even trying to give me advice? Get the fuck out my face. And he was so respectful. Bless his heart. To this day, I say bless his heart. I don't know how he deals with me, right? But he's here. He's here. 17 years. 17 years. All right, I've known this man 17 years. He's the father of my daughter, and we're engaged, right? The only one holding that joint back is me. But I think if it was for him, he'll say, "Fuck it, let's do this shit the Muslim way." But anyways, right? I didn't know that at that time he was putting my fiance in my path, right? He took him away. I was dealing with the stuff that I was dealing with my son in the school, right? My son's depression, everything, right? Then my mom gets sick on me, and I'm trying to deal with that. Then it's like, oh snap! Now I'm stuck, right? Because now I got to deal with a brother that has spina bifida and a brother that's schizophrenic, and then I got to deal with my son's issues, the school issues, court issues, right? And I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant of my 3rd kid, right? And this was after after I met my daughter a while after. We were still friends, right? But I was already my baby father was already passed away, right? And I had my daughter and stuff like that. Boom, he comes, and my mom passes away. I'm saying like, damn, like if this is a test, this is one hell of a test, yo. Like it was like the more and more things happen, right? Within those couple years together, it was like I was getting more and more frustrated. More and more like, listen, before my mom passed away, right? And I was dealing with the stuff that I was dealing to, yo, mind y'all, I packed my kids up, right? Yeah, I'm saying it like that because we got to have some humor, all right? I packed my kids up, got on a Greyhound, and ended up in Ohio for almost a year, all right? So I lived in Ohio like around in 2015 for almost a year, all right? I'm going to say here. All right, my bipolar kicked in. It was like the world was just like, I didn't know what to do, all right? And this is why I constantly say we all fight our demons in the same hell, just different ways, right? And everything we go through is nothing more than a test. I could say that now. But at the moment, I wasn't seeing it like that, right? It was like everything was boom, 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 right? And then I'm still dealing with my kid situation. Then boom, here we go. 2018, 2019 hit, right? I'm in this court situation because My son decides to defend himself, right? And the school wants to sit here and press felony charges on my 11-year-old, right? Mind you, this is all in a span of like between 6 and 7, 8 years together. Boom, right? All together. And I'm sitting here like, oh shit, like, damn, I can't finish dealing with one problem where the other one already starts. I'm almost done dealing with this one, the other one, boom. All right. So all this is happening within these couple years, right? And I'm sitting here like, you know what? Something just made me explode, right? And in that process, right, I got online. I was on Facebook and I was on YouTube. And I snapped. I snapped on my mom's family. I snapped on the school district. I snapped on everybody around me. You see where I'm coming from? And my story came out. That's where it came out and surfaced on social media. And it's crazy, right? I wasn't ashamed of my story. Like I had a lot of lashback, right? But then I had positive behind it. And I never thought, I never thought that my story would have any positivity behind it. You see where I'm coming from? Like I had gotten off of social media for like, because I was also like, listen, in the same process, right? I was also dealing with a Hassan Campbell situation here on social media, while trying to pass a petition to get cameras in the schools, trying to get people to listen to what I was saying, right? Listen, social media is not an easy place to deal with, right? You got people, trying to, how can I say, lead the way to, to positive things while others just want the drama and the chaos, right? It's like a division. When did it start? I mean, I guess when social media started, right? But listen, all right, like, even though I went through all this, right, a lot of people's like, how was you able to, process all this by still dealing with this, dealing with that? Look, listen, I had to learn, right? I had to learn how to overcome my past. I had to face the demons that were haunting me, right? Because what people don't realize is that no matter how much therapy you get throughout the years, right? No matter how much therapy you get throughout the years, no matter how many people are around you that want to help you, unless you're willing to receive that help, you're not going to receive it. And I've noticed that there's a lot of people on this joint like this, all right? That's why I say that I don't really pay attention to a lot of content creators. Maybe they're not ready to receive the message or receive whatever blessing they're getting, and they mess it up. A lot of us did at one point. I'm not innocent from that, all right? You see where I'm coming from? Like, I don't get tired of telling people that. I'm not exempt from that. All right? We all make mistakes on this platform, off this platform. All right? Our past could have a lot to do with it, or whatever is going on in our present could have a lot to do with it. But once again, never in a million years did I think that I would be an advocate, not just for little kids, but for women that go through, or men that go through sexual abuse. Because when I came back to social media after taking a year break, right? That's how I ended up meeting Kwame Brown and stuff like that, right? Like, my DMs was like full. Like, I had young ladies that wanted me to, keep speaking on it. Like, I had people that's like, yo, you're going to bring back some poetry. Like, and it's crazy because it's like, I never expected for my channel to blow up from me telling something that was that deep in person, right? If anything, I was expecting people, because I was used to it, talking shit and bashing. I got some of that, but the positivity was so big and, in the background, in the back end, like, behind the scenes, that it made me see things differently, right? It's like, I didn't know that, you being so real and so honest can get you so much respect and can get other people, right, to listen and change their ways too. Sometimes it could be the messenger, right? Maybe I was given the message wrong at that time, right? And I've been told that a lot of times. You see where I'm coming from? But I've grown 7 years on this platform. All right. I've been consistent, right? And I appreciate those that have been supporting me and following me, because without y'all, I wouldn't have made it this far. You see where I'm coming from? Like, y'all have, how can I say, not from the petitions onto, the conversations to the advice, y'all have helped the Shorty out a lot, right? And all I can say is, right, that those that appreciate, what I do on this joint, I appreciate y'all too, right? Like, My best way of showing it is when I do my little giveaways, when I bring them back, right? Like I do appreciate your support. It's time to start, how can I say, building with each other, right? Like I don't know what a lot of people want when it comes to, them coming on this platform, but me, right? I told y'all that I wanted to show y'all that change is possible. People say that change is not possible, but I feel as though it is. The problem that we have is that people don't want it sometimes, right? Don't say that, you can't do it. Just say you won't. Stop worrying about where people put their money at. Like, listen, we all learn our lessons. We live and learn. My focus isn't about someone else's pocket or competing with the next person, like I told y'all earlier. My focus, my focus is being better than what I was yesterday. I'm in competition with myself, trying to better myself each day. All right. So for those of y'all, right, that want to hear the story, I'm gonna read, a few pages of this, John. All right, and y'all want to come up, y'all can talk. If not, look, listen. I came on this, John, right, because I wanted to let y'all know. Look, listen. It takes time. All right, when we want to do something positive. All right, when you want to bring awareness to stuff, right, and you want to help out those that want it. All right, it's not going to happen in one day. It's not going to happen within a snap of a finger. All right, it takes time. All right, but like I was telling y'all, man, look, listen. I'm a survivor, and this is chapter 1, right? And it's called Inked in Silence. I still don't even got a name for my book yet on this one, but the first page is like this, right? I didn't come into this world soft. Philly raised me loud, layered and unfiltered. Before the mic, before the movement, before they called me an advocator, I was a girl dodging systems built to erase girls like me. Girls who survive, who fight, who refuse to fall. We all have a past. Mine's dark, like the shadows little girls walk through, trying to reach the light. I grew up in a house where silence was survival, but my spirit, it refused to whisper. It screamed, right? It screamed in sketches, in side eyes, in scars. The pain is a story tattooed on my skin. Every mark, every memory, every moment I didn't break. They saw attitude, I was building armor. They saw defiance, I was defending my name. They saw a girl too loud, too raw, too much, but I was just enough to start a fire. This chapter isn't about the spotlight, it's about the silence that shaped me. The fight before the platform, the ink before the image, the girl before the legacy. Questions in the dark. As a child, I asked questions no one wanted to answer. Why is this happening to me? Why does love feel like fear? Why does the person who's supposed to protect me call me a liar instead? I didn't understand the world. I didn't understand the world I was born into. I just knew something was wrong. While he kept hurting me, I kept asking, trying to make sense of the silence, trying to believe that someone would listen. But she didn't. She called me crazy. She chose him. In that choice, it carved something deep into me: anger, pain, distrust. I started lashing out, not because I was wild, but because I was wounded. Because the truth was too heavy to carry alone. Because when you scream and no one hears you, you learn to roar. I didn't know that, I didn't know then that my questions were seeds, that one day they grow into truth telling, into advocacy, into fire. But back then, I was just a little girl in the dark, asking why love felt like betrayal and why silence felt like punishment. Page 3. The lie that broke me. As a child, I lived in contradiction. My mom told me no one should ever touch me in my private parts. She said if someone made me uncomfortable, I should tell her. So I did. I told her, even when he said no one would believe me, not even her. Even when he said I'd be punished for speaking, I still spoke. And in that moment, his words felt true. Because she didn't believe me. She looked me in my face and called me a liar. Said it couldn't be true. That man loved us. Said I was making it up. Said there would be consequences. I was hurt, confused, betrayed. Why tell me to speak if my truth was too ugly to hear? Why teach me trust? Why teach me to trust her, then punish me for doing it? I didn't know who else to go to. Would they believe me? Would they call me crazy? Would they call me crazy too? Would they protect him like she did? So I went quiet. But silence didn't mean peace. It meant rage. It meant lashing out. It meant trying to scream through my questions. My bad. It meant trying to scream through my actions because my words have been denied. I thought maybe if I acted out, they'd finally listen, but they didn't hear the pain behind. They didn't hear the pain behind the punch. They just saw a girl acting up. Never asked why. Never looked deeper. Page 4, screaming in the shadows. Lashing out only made things worse. They saw defiance. They missed the wound. How do you speak when you think no one will listen? I cried in silence for years. The abuse started before I even knew what school was. My bad. The abuse started before I even knew what school was. Before I could spell danger, I was living in it. I went from a happy little girl to I went from a happy little girl to one who lurked in shadows, watching every man like he might be the next monster. Because the first one wore a mask of love, because the first one was chosen by my mother. I was dying on the inside, but on the outside, I was loved. I was, my bad, I was loud. I was angry. I was pushing people away, not because I didn't, want love, but because I didn't trust it. The pain inside me opened a wound that couldn't heal, a wound that bled into every relationship, every classroom, every moment I was supposed to be normal. I had a real life Freddy Krueger, not just in my dreams, but in my shadows. He haunted my silence. He twisted my he haunted my silence. He twisted my trust. And every time I tried to scream, the world told me to whisper. Page 5. The mask, the silence, the shift. After a while, the silence became normal, not safe, just familiar. I stopped expecting rescue. I stopped expecting truth. I started building walls instead of bridges because everyone I reached out, my bad. Every time I reached out, I got burned. I need to put my little light on because I can't see. I used to think something was wrong with me, that maybe I deserved it, that maybe I was broken, but deep down, I know. My bad. Deep down, I knew I was just a little girl trying to survive a nightmare. They saw attitude, they saw rebellion, but they never saw the little girl behind the mask, the one scared, the one sacred, and screaming for help in every way she knew how. I wore defiance like armor. I sharpened my tongue like a blade, because if they wouldn't hear my truth, they would feel my pain. Page 6. Not Elm Street, but Philly. Just so they would listen, I tried everything: pills, windows, blades. I wasn't trying to die, I was trying to be heard. But every time I spoke, here came the consequences. My mom first and family. Some people said they believed, but I didn't trust it. I thought they were playing me, just like she did. So I built a shield, thick and heavy, cold. I thought maybe if I didn't exist, things would be better, but they got worse. Why am I still here? If I do right, they take my innocence. If I do wrong, they label me a menace. As a kid going through this kind of trauma is more than hard, it's hell. Being made a woman ahead of time, against your will, with no one to turn to, isn't just a nightmare, it's a real life horror. Not on Elm Street, but in Philly, in my house, in my skin. Page 7. The captain of my ship. If you want to understand my story, how I overcame the abuse, the betrayal, the obstacles, you have to start at the beginning. And the beginning is dark, so pay attention. Because the man who hurt me still walks these streets. He has no control over me now, but I pray he never touches another child. I pray no one else has to live the nightmare I did. I fought through days so dark, they swallowed my light. I clawed my way through silence, through shame, through screams that no one wanted to hear. And yes, I overcame. But don't get it twisted. I still get nightmares. I still feel the echoes holding. I still feel the echoes. Healing isn't forgetting, it's reclaiming. Now I'm the captain of my own shift, my thoughts, my emotions, my story. I'm older now, wiser, louder. But back then, it was like this. And this is the last page, all right? Page 8, the door to the dark. Back then, I didn't know how to reclaim anything. I didn't even know what reclaiming meant. I was just a child trying to survive a monster with no mask, a real life Freddy Krueger, not in my dreams, but in my room, in my mornings, in my silence. There was no escape, no safe space, no pause button, just a cycle: sleep, wake, fear, and repeat. And when you live like that, you don't learn you don't learn how to heal. You learn to, how can I say, hide, to perform, to protect yourself from the truth, because the truth is too heavy to carry alone. This was the storm, the silence, the scream, the part of my story that shaped everything after. And if you really want to understand me, not just the woman I am now, but the girl I was then, you need to walk through that door. And that's where chapter 2 starts. All right, guys? And that'll be a chapter for another day. All right. But I just wanted you to see, look, listen, man, I'm a survivor. And I hear so many people say that we can't overcome it. Yes, you can. Listen, your past only does two things. It either makes you or it breaks you. And I don't get tired of saying it on this platform. My past almost broke me, but it made me the woman that I am today. It almost broke me because I kept pushing people away. I didn't open my eyes up until I had my first son, until I had my firstborn. That's when I really opened up my eyes. I didn't really understand men until I started, men, little boys. I didn't understand them until, I started seeing them through the eyes of my son. All right. All right. Let me break that down for y'all. When I had my son, watching him grow up, right, showed me, right, so many things. And I had to learn this on my own, right? Because mind you, their dad was passed away. He was deceased. And what's crazy is, in the beginning, the man that is my fiance today, who I have a child with, right? In the beginning, he was one of the people I used to push away. Lord bless his heart, because I put him through hell. And I put him to, listen, I made him go through test after test after test. It's like, when people be like, oh, y'all don't understand our bond. Y'all will never understand the love that we have is beyond anything in this world. All right, guys. Oh, I forgot we was on Twitch. I'm gonna end this live soon, guys. Once I say what I gotta say. But if anybody wants to come on this, John, hey, baby daddy. If anybody wants to come on this, John, chop it up with a shorty before I do end this live, y'all more than welcome. The link is dropped down below. All right. But listen, man. There's it's crazy. The reason I love my baby pops, right? And as crazy as it sounds, right? Because I said that we had a hate-love relationship in the beginning. It's because he showed me not every man is the same, right? Like, and he showed it to me through patience, kindness. You see where I'm coming from? Like, he showed me all his sides, and he didn't have to. You see where I'm coming from? Like, he didn't have to show that side of me. He wasn't even my man. I mean, of him. And he wasn't even my man yet. He was just a friend trying, to sit here and give somebody advice. And what's crazy is, right, at one point I used to scream. I'm like, yo, what the hell is you? Like some type of Captain Save a Hoe? Are you always trying to save every woman out? And I'm not saying I'm a hoe, because I'm not a hoe. It was just that it's like, dude, you can't save every woman. Who told you I wanted your help? Lord bless his heart, because he's still here. 17 years He's still here. 17 years he's been in my life. Nah, 18. I'm tripping. Holy crap. He didn't say nothing when I said 17 the other day. We was talking about it. But yeah, man, like he's been by my side through thick and thin. All right. Like we gotta stop thinking that every man is the same and stop grouping them in the same, pot. Same thing goes with women. We're not all the same. And and it's funny because a lot of these conversations on YouTube go left because some people are stuck in their own ways. Their way of thinking too. Like I don't know if it's because they was raised like that or what it is, but there comes a point in time where we have to grow up. All right. Like stop acting like kids. Stop behaving like kids. Stop coming at each other like kids on these platforms. You see where I'm coming from? That's why I say shout out to Beautiful One for saying what she said. All right, and that's a little part that I played, but y'all gotta go check her out. All right, because she didn't she even put the part in there. How a lot of these kids are abused. Listen, this community center will benefit a lot of these kids out here. All right, it will take them from these streets. Like if we really want to change, we will find ways to come together. Me personally, I gotta say thank you to those that have been rocking out with a Shorty and showing her support. Like we could do this, and we've made it. People was telling me in the beginning, you're not going to get cameras in these schools. We doing it now. We doing it now. Closed mouths don't get shut. Closed mouths don't get fed. Remember that, John. But this is for all the women out there, that have been through some type of sexual abuse, it don't matter what it is. But living with a Freddie, man, I know the feeling.
In the shadow of my dreams, I was confined a prisoner of my own mind, hoping to find escape from the horrors that kept haunting me. Chained to a bed, just imagine a nightmare with Freddy. Every night his claws would scrape against my fears. A twisted dance, waking, dripping in cold sweat and tears. But deep within, a flicker of strength found its way. I'm about to break free from this endless fray. Growing up, it felt like I was in prison, shackled to a bed and life filled with derision. But now I rise, armored against my own fright. No longer bound, I'm ready to face the fight. Through the darkness, I found the light of resilience, unlocking the power to break these chains of existence. No longer confined to the grip of my past, I'll sculpt a new reality that will forever last. I face the demons that once held me down. Now they tremble as I wear my battle crown. With every step I take on this path of liberation, I reclaim my power and rewrite this narration. Growing up, it felt like I was in prison, shackled to a bed and life filled with derision. But now I rise, armored against my own fright. Freddie may have haunted my nights before, but now I'm stronger than ever, knocking on his door. I'll stand tall and break these nightmares apart. No longer confined, I'll conquer my fears with heart. Growing up, it felt like I was in prison, shackled to a bed and life filled with derision. But now I rise, armored against my own fright. No longer bound, I'm ready to face the fight. Growing up, it felt like I was in prison. Just imagine being chained to a bed. Just imagine a nightmare with Freddie. We all have a story in our life that has caused us trauma. Scars tattooed in our skin that will never be forgotten. Memories that are partially forgiven. If we could only see that at times we're our own worst enemy. This is my story.
And that's true. At times we could be our own worst enemy. And we need to realize that. We definitely need to realize that. I'm trying to see who's in the chat. I got a little serious. I got a little too serious, I think, because everybody left. Shout out to my fiance. All right, I see him in the chat. Riders, baby. It's like I be telling a lot of people, man, like, listen, when they be like riders for life, I'm like, listen, y'all can call me Rachel. All right, guys, y'all can call me Rachel. Y'all are allowed to call me Rachel. Shout out to Empress. Shout out to everybody that, calls me by my name, all right? Like, because Writers for Life is the LLC. Shout out to my fiance, all right? Black owned business, all right? And I'm right next to him, all right? This Puerto Rican mamacita's right next to him. But give me a second while I answer this call, guys. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. We living in a world where the rules don't apply. They say we gotta follow, but we ready to fly. System got us boxed in, trying to keep us small. But we rise like the phoenix, we ain't scared to brawl. They feeding us lies, but we see through the smoke. We're the voice of the people, we're ready to provoke. They want us to divide, but we're stronger as one. Breaking chains, taking names, yeah, we getting it done. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. Fist in the air, yeah, we taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. In the world of division, they showed us how to share. But the weight of our sorrows, they never taught us to bear. We split our joys and laughter, but the pain remained untold. A burden we carry alone, a story left untold. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. He lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. We learned to divide our dreams and multiply our fears. But the ache in our hearts only grew in passing years. They gave us all the answers, except how to heal. The scars that run so deep, wounds that time can't seal. Yeah, they taught us how to share, but only the good. Smiles and laughter like we understood. But deep down inside, there's a storm we hide. Pain in our hearts, we're just trying to ride. Put on a mask, yeah, we play the part. But nobody sees the cracks in the hearts. We share our dreams, the highs and the lows, but when it comes to hurt, we just close the doors. We share the fun times, deflect the pain, and laugh and heal. Taught to share the joy, but wounds, they stay unhealed. They say love was easy to divide, but the heartache never subsides. We tried to split everything into two, but the pain lingers strongly true. Shared our dreams, divided our fears, but the sorrow remained through the years. No matter how we tried to let go, the weight of our suffering continued to grow. Now we're apart trying to heal, but some wounds are too deep to conceal. They said splitting up will set us free, yet the pain lingers in you and me. In a world where rules are set in stone, the system's grip tightens, we're not alone. Bound by chains of majestic greed, against the odds we fight to be free. Mighty forces try to keep us down, but our spirits rise, refusing to drown. Defying norms, breaking through the mold. In this battle of wills, our story is told. As the clash continues day by day, we stand united, come what may. For in this world where rules don't apply, our strength and unity will never die. They try to silence our dreams, but we're loud and clear. With every step forward, conquering fear. They can't hold us back. We're the fire and the flame in this battle for freedom. We're all in the game. They say it's just a game, but we're playing for keeps. With the strength of the many, we're shattered the leaps. No more puppets on strings, we're cutting the ties. With our eyes on the prize, we're reaching for the skies. So let's stand together, let's break down the walls. In this fight for our future, we'll answer the calls. From the ashes, we'll rise like a storm. Riders ignite. It's us versus the system, and we're ready to fight. They building walls, but we're digging tunnels. With every step we take, we're shaking the bundles. From the streets to the courts, we're raising our voice. In a world full of noise, we're making the choice. They want to keep us blind, but we see the light. Knowledge is power, and we're ready to fight. From the corners of the city to the halls of the state, where the heartbeat of the struggle can't afford to wait. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. This in the air, yeah, we taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. Now we stand here broken, searching for some light, hoping for a way out of this never-ending night. But through it all, we find strength in each other's embrace. Together we'll face tomorrow and find solace in this space. They say don't bring the drama, keep it all light. But every night I'm fighting these demons in sight. Whispers in my mind, yeah, they echo when they shout. While I'm smiling on the surface, I'm breaking without. We're sharing the laughter, but what's underneath? A battlefield of sorrow, a war with no peace. We're warriors in silence, but nobody knows how the pain that we carry just grows and it grows. In a world of lessons learned, they taught us how to stand and burn. But the scars we hide deep inside are the ones that never subside. We followed all the rules they made, but the emptiness never fades. Their wounds like knives, cutting through even wounds that always grew. They painted pictures of success, but couldn't fix what's left of us. Now we're left to bear the strain of the pain that lingers, never wanes. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. That's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. So remember this moment, remember this face, remember this sound. We're the voice of the future, and we won't back down. In the face of oppression, we'll stand up tall. It's us versus the system, and united we'll fall. Riders show how we unite.
Man, the whole point of this live is, man, it's really about the kids, all right? I hear so many people say that the kids are our future, but they come on these platforms, speak, on the positive side, then, how can I say, make threats, right? Start doing a whole bunch of stuff on these platforms. And that's why we can't, actually, how can I say, accomplish the things that we say we're going to accomplish for real, for real. We need to focus, all right, and stay focused. If you have a message, just be consistent with it, right? Listen, I know there's a lot of people on here. Listen, everybody wants people to view their videos for whatever the reason it is, right? But at the end of the day, some of us, you see where I'm coming from, ain't so pressed about, how can I say, the drama and the chaos on this John just to get paid. For real, for real. Like I tell people, right? Because I've had people come up to me, right? And I heard this a lot yesterday, and I'm seeing it a lot being talked about in a lot of channels, right? About the views, about the super chats and all that. But listen, man, if my channel receives that, I feel as though, like, thank you for the blessing, all right? Like me, I'm not somebody that always brags about it when it comes to the money, like for real, for real. Like, I've had people be like, damn, you don't even, no, I don't, because when I come on this John, I'm really, talking about something. I'm really bringing awareness. I didn't just hit this live button just to come on this John because I just woke up like creating chaos this morning. Oh, there's a part of me that craves it and loves it. You see where I'm coming from? But we got movies, all right? We got shows. We got all that. That right there, that feeds all of it. I don't need to create that, to feel satisfied and happy. Let that side of me stay asleep. For what? Like, that side of me's been asleep since since I hit my mid-20s. I think the last time I was on this job being messy and chaotic, I was like 25 years old. I swear to God. But then I grew up. God blessed me with a daughter. And you never know, how you really are until you see the purest version of you walking next to you. Right? So it's like if I'm going to sit here and tell y'all, right, lead by example, what do I look like doing the opposite? You're supposed to lead by example. It's one of the things that I was taught, not just by my grandpa, but a lot of the old heads around me. All right, something that I implement to my kids every day. All right, like, I don't know if it's that, we're missing conversations, if we're lacking conversations, or it's the lack of comprehension, right? Within families, within communities, within friendships, right? Relationships. But me personally, I don't know. I feel it though. I feel as though it is, but people say it isn't, right? But I feel that that's what's missing. Me, when I feel as though someone's not understanding me or comprehending me, it's like, all right, screw it. Let's either change the subject, let's keep it pushing, or I just, how can I say, eliminate myself out the equation, because there's no need. Me personally, but a lot of people don't think like me, so we don't all think the same at all. But there's people out here where that side of them that craves chaos and drama, right, and wants to, how can I spew hate and all that stuff, is woke, and a lot of people. Right. And it's crazy, right? Because listen, not everybody matures the same way. Right. That's what we keep forgetting. Right. That's why a lot of people isn't ready to receive. I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with people, right? Especially when I notice they're not. Listen, I've been through it. I've been through it in a lot of places, all right? I've hopped on panels where, I'm just giving my input and my thought, having a conversation. I could be speaking about men's, right? But because someone is, how can I say, mad at the person that I'm talking to, right? And there's a beef going on. Somehow, some way, I'm collateral damage. I had to learn that, right? So I had to learn that the same way that, you treat certain people out here on the streets, you have to treat certain people on this platform, right? Even within the chat, right? We got some trolls, right? They call themselves trolls, right? Some people that call themselves trolls, right? And it's funny because some of them come on this John and they be like, they call themselves trolls, but they be funny as shit because what they do is they just keep everything comedic and respectful, right? Jokeful and respectful. But then you got some people on this John that's nothing but disrespectful and get mad when somebody turns around and feeds them that same energy. Don't come crying now. Don't come asking for mommy and daddy. Don't come praying for God now. You did this. See, a lot of people on this joint come and, create mess, right? And then turn around and want to hide behind somebody, that speaks positive. And, it's not my first time doing this shit. Or they want to come and hide behind a chat or, behind, how can I say, a Bible verse. Don't come over here with that bullshit. Not me, man. I ain't sugarcoating shit. Not over here. Right? That's why we have a lot of issues on these platforms, right? A lot of people worrying about what somebody has in their pocket, who they give them what they have in their pocket too, who's parking whose car in whose garage, right? Trying to dig into people's backgrounds. That's not community. See, the problem is, right? And shout out to Blessings, Blessings Healing Realms, all right, and all the ladies that come on this drawing and actually speak positivity and talk about this, right? Like, that's the issue with a lot of people, right? Instead of coming on here and doing what they're good at, doing what they say they're going to do, they come on this drawing, degrading and bashing and bringing other people down. Like, if we're in kindergarten, first grade, competing with each other, for real, right? Like, to the point where, the people start, taking it personal, bringing people's personal lives, saying this about the next person, making people feel uncomfortable in certain places. Certain people on this job make you feel like, certain content creators are, want to be dictators and certain subscribers are their hype man. It's like that. Listen, man, when it comes to social media, we want to have our ups and downs. But we have to learn how to, I guess, embrace that, right? And learn how to go around that shit. A lot of people don't know how to do that. They say that it's not possible. People going to keep talking. Yeah, they're going to keep talking. Let them talk. Let them hate. You see where I'm coming from? You don't got to respond to everything, but I guess, we're in 2026. Everything is a respond, all right? Even if, it's water wet. You see where I'm coming from? It's one of the biggest trends these little kids are bringing right back up. I'm like, damn, I ain't hear that in a while. But we are the reason that the things that are happening to us is happening. You see where I'm coming from? We can't blame nobody but ourselves. Or if something is happening right now, right, and you've let it happen, and then you turn around and say, like, damn, what happened? Dude, you've had, plenty of time to turn it around. But you was having too much fun, and now you're crying victim. See, those type of people is the people that I stay away from. Because I ain't got time to sit here and complain and babysit egos. I don't. Like I said, I've been on panels, I've been through it, all right? Like, I've had to learn my lessons on this, John. And I feel as though other people got to learn it too. And if listen, once you learn it and you keep doing the same shit, that's on you. Once again, once you know better, you do better. Like, what the hell? Like, we really need to get it together. So once again, I feel as though we can have some change, right? We can make change happen. But that's if you want it to make it happen, right? That's if you want it, if you're willing to make it happen. Until then, everything is going to keep repeating itself. You're the only person that could break the chains, of whatever cycle that is happening around you. You can't help other people if you're still drowning. So you have to figure a way out how to help yourself first. Get yourself together in order to be able to help others. You see where I'm coming from? That's why when I say, right, never in a million years that I think that I would become not just an advocate for, kids that get bullied in school, but an advocate for women, right, and men that have been abused, sexually abused. And I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. Have I been through it? Yes. I've been through therapy. I've been through all that, right? To the point where the therapist is like, damn, you don't need us no more. You should be able to do this. If you do need, counseling or something, you know what to do. And exactly, I pass that advice to everybody. If you feel as though you need some type of counseling, take it. Don't make nobody discourage you from having, being able to sit down and talk to somebody. If that therapist or that counselor, isn't the fit for you, then let them go and see if you can, find somebody else. You could even have a best friend that you can sit down and talk to, as long as you could trust that best friend. If you can't, like I said, there's different ways of getting counseling, therapy. You see where I'm coming from, and much more. So, before I end all this, right? Like I said, if we come together, right, and we do what we got to do and stop focusing on the ones that don't want, the help, don't want to move forward, we could, a lot of us can accomplish so many things. We could change a lot of policies, a lot, listen, we could even get to the point where we could find a way to change that foundation that's stuck in the 16 and 1700s. All right. Like I said, man, listen, guys, this John on here, my bad, and I don't know if I said it earlier, and I apologize if I didn't, man. Shout out to those that are on Twitch, all right, because I see a little message pop up on StreamYard, all right, saying viewers something about Twitch, but I can't see my Twitch over here unless they did put a message. But shout out to those that came through, show support. But listen, man, once again, what we're missing is the unity and community. Until then, we're not going to change nothing. We have to stop fighting each other, arguing with each other, and start with home. That's why, like I said, this community center that I'm working on, it's not just like every regular community center they have out here where they got a little bit of games and they got these little, workshops and kids get bored. No. Let's start teaching them how to become entrepreneurs, businessmen and women, all right, at a young age. I want a community center where we can get kids that, are from the ages of 5 and up. All right, let's teach them how to garden. Like I told y'all, all right, I've met up with a lot of, people that run organizations that do gardening, that boxing, martial arts, technology, deal with computers and stuff like that are willing to come together, all right, and be a part of this. All right. Shout out to, and before I forget, man, shout out to Farmer Nancy. All right. I spoke on her. I think it was on her panel. Was I mistaken? Or was it? I think it was Empress's panel, if I'm not mistaken. All right. She's got a great idea. Farmer Nancy is, trying to do what a lot of farmers are doing, especially here in PA. All right. Y'all know I'm from Philly, right? And get this agriculture thing on and popping, right? Like having the farms within the hoods and stuff like that. She's got a good idea. And hopefully she could accomplish what she's doing so that way, it could expand and we can get other farmers to start doing the same thing. Shit, when I get my own little land, if I'm able to do it, man, if I get the money stacked up and I go get that little plot that I'm looking at, I'm going to definitely start doing the same shit. Man, we need that. Like, if I could find a way, right, to own some land and do some farming shit, I would. On some real shit here in the hood. But see, in Philadelphia, it's not that easy. In Philadelphia, you would have to go to the outskirts of Philly to be able to farm. In between Philly, because of the weather, it's like you can only create community gardens. For real. I'm not going to sit here and lie. So shout out to Farmer Nancy. All right, she's bringing awareness to that. When I get a chance, we do a little review and reaction to one of her videos. All right, so that y'all can see what I'm talking about. Something that we talk a lot about here within our meetings, our community meetings and stuff like that. There is a lot of agricultural events here in Philadelphia where people from Texas and how can I say Louisiana, Ohio, different places, the world come, all right, and they get together, they bring awareness, they try to, how can I say, start organizations and help people within the communities with the resources that they need and much more, right? These things do exist within our communities, right? I like what Farmer Nancy is actually doing because it's no different from what I'm trying to do with my community center, right? I'm trying to build my board right now, right? And I'm trying to team up. I'm trying to team my board, right, with, the Philadelphia's board so that we come together and try to get this community center up and running, right? Like I told you, I already got the biggest step. Hopefully, nothing happens. I'm able, Ohead is still with us, all right? Because there's a reason she reached out to me, right? Springtime is coming, all right? So I'm definitely about to start a GoFundMe, and I'm going to start some fundraisers. I'm going to start selling T-shirts, food, and I'm going to get the young bulls together, all right? And we're going to do this outside, all right? We're going to try to collect as much money as we can to put into the pot to try to see if we can get this building in the corner right here. And that'll be the first building where we start our community center. All right. Like Nancy has a great idea. All right. She's doing it with the farm. I'm trying to do it with the community center. All right. So shout out to Big Nancy for doing that. All right. Shout out to all the people out here. All right. Putting in boot work on the ground out here within these streets, not just on social media. All right, because listen, if we was on social media all day, we will not be able to put boots on the ground and take care of our families. So I want to say thank you to those that, how can I say, show a Shorty support, rock out with a Shorty when she's on this job for an hour or two, all right, and have conversations and stuff like that, all right. I really appreciate y'all. I'm gonna try to be a little more consistent coming on. I do know that I'm consistent on the weekends. On the weekdays, I can't make no promises about being consistent because, listen, like I said, I gotta have boots on the ground and I got a family to take care of. Plus, I gotta work, right? So I appreciate all the support. The new poem book will be published. Both of these books will be published probably by, I'm gonna say, we're what, January? No, we're in February. Shit, I'm still stuck in January, March, April. I'm gonna say by April or June. April or June, I want to have these 2 books published. All right. So shout out to those that are supporting me by buying the first book. All right. That means a lot. Like I said, we're gonna start doing these fundraisers, these GoFundMes around, around March or April. All right. Probably April. Probably March. I'm not sure. I'm gonna get it together on the dates, all right, and how we do it. But we're definitely gonna start raising some money. All right. I gotta make a whole new, what I'm gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring back what I was doing with letting the young bulls, right? Use the computers, print out their logos, sell it. I'm gonna start doing that so that way they can sell their logos, right? I'll sell my brand, sell the food, and we can all raise money together and try to, put it towards this building. So yeah, I gotta make one big old pot right there and start raising money to get the building. Right. Once we get the building locked down, then we start figuring out how we do the workshops while I deal with the government and stuff like that. All right. Yep. I got the LLC already. Right. So I can start a little business right there. Basically, I can get all the equipment, no matter what. Right. I can use a little space of the building and let the kids come in. All right. Let the kids come in and, try to do little different things. I do got to get a permit so I can let them cook and do like little events for cooks. That, you know what? I'm definitely going to do that. So I got to put together at least like $600 for my little permit. This is 2 permits, right? That I got to deal with health inspection and all that shit. So, and then the building needs a lot of fixing. So I want to work with the part of the building that's, workable with, right? I want to get new machines because we got heat press machines, right? We got little printers. I want to update these joints because we got the old versions. I'm definitely going to upgrade. I want to buy some new machines. I want to get the direct on garment and all that, right? Then we're going to get these little young bulls to work with the permission of the parents, right? And we're going to do different things. We're going to try to create different events, different type of, fundraisers and stuff like that. Come together with the people that I got to call this chick too from this organization. So listen, man, like I said, I appreciate the support. We is making it this far. Like, I appreciate those that when I go live on these events are there supporting the Shorty, sharing my lives. Because those are the lives that people don't really pay attention to. So the ones that do share it, I appreciate y'all. Man, and trust me, man, y'all, listen, those that have been supporting with those type of lives, it's the ones that I really want to give back to, like when I do the giveaways. All right? Because it's like, that's my focus in helping the community. So I want to give back to those that actually help me bring awareness to these type of things. All right, guys. With that being said, man, I got to get off this, John. All right. And I'm going to see y'all on my next live. I'm not sure about, I'll come back on later, but we definitely got to do part 2 of where we left off. We got to pick up Corey Holcomb versus Anton Daniels. All right. And there's been a lot of updates with everything. So it's kind of like, we're going to do this new live with Corey Holcomb. And he can right? Who the fuck is calling me from New York? It's probably some type of scam. But with all that being said, guys, man, I'm off this, John. Till next time.
In this world of blame and shame. In this world of blame and shame, we point fingers, we play the game. But as our children cry in fear, we turn a blind eye, we shed no tears. Believe our women, they say, while our kids are led astray. Lost in darkness, lost in pain, yet their cries fall silent like the rain. It's a shame how far we've come, blaming all the men playing dumb. But our children need us near to wipe their tears and calm their fears. In this land of the free, water's a commodity for you and me. Can't you see? It's not fair, it's plain to see. People struggling to pay for something they need every day. In America where we say we're free, but water shouldn't come at a fee. It's Shorty just speaking in general about the things that seem so small. This ain't meant towards everyone, just a cry in the dark. In America where water is marked. Brothers and sisters, hear my plea. This is not about you or me. Our kids are the future, they hold the key. Wake up before we're met with defeat. In this world of chaos and strife, we must guide them to a better life. Teach them love, compassion, and light, so they can lead us out of this endless night. Let's unite as one strong force. For our children, let's stay on course. Together we can make a change and secure a better future in exchange. Y'all should have listened the first time they let the cat out the hat. Now it's a crime. Many are falling into a trap, thinking it's a game, but they full of cap. Some are ready and fully strapped, while others keep falling into the gap. The warning signs were clear as day, but some chose not to heed what they say. Now the consequences come to light. Those who ignored are in for a fight. Listen close and learn from this mishap. Don't be caught unaware, don't fall into the trap. From the wisdom of my elders I learned women are strong, independent and firm. But sometimes we need a helping hand to conquer challenges and make a stand. Independence is crucial, that's true. Yet together with a man we can pursue. Respect yourself first and foremost, so others will treat you like the most. Ladies growing up, remember this advice. You're capable of anything you devise, but partnership and respect go hand in hand. Embrace your strength and make a stand. Memories of the past I couldn't see, now I understand. The wisdom they gave me, respect yourself first, that's the key. To earn respect from others is how it should be. A man's worth measured by how he treats his queen. Love and romance in the air, a beautiful scene. A woman's power to uplift or demean. In her hands lies a man's dream. Lessons learned from an OG so true. In matters of the heart, they know what to do. Love and respect intertwined like glue. In a world where old-fashioned values still ring through. Peter Pan, Peter Pan, Peter Pan was a fairy tale. Now males want to be females without fail. Women want to be a man, it's a twisted tale. Flipping scripts and roles, they set sail. Fighting for roles, turning to moles. Making hits with their agenda goals. Targeting our kids, it takes a toll. To them it's a bliss, to us it's a black hole. They ain't trying to miss. Their agenda is the ultimate twist. Infiltrating young minds with their list, but we won't let them persist. I'm with women's rights, but what about men's too? Equality for all, it's long overdue. We want progress, we need to see both sides. Blame and shame won't help us unite. Don't label him a deadbeat without looking in the mirror. Sometimes it takes two to create rupture. Let's have conversations that include everyone. Empathy and understanding, the battles can be won. Men face struggles too, let's not forget. Their mental health matters, let's not neglect. It's time to break down walls and build bridges instead. Together we can strive for equality ahead. You scream for the police every time he come around. Then scream child support abuse, playing victim in this town. Enjoy that check, boo, but remember what goes up must come down. The only time he's worthy is when he bails you out the mess you found. You play the game, manipulating hearts without a doubt, but karma's knocking at your door, there's no way out. You point fingers and shift the blame around, but in the end, it's your own chaos that you found. You dance with danger, living on the edge of lies, but the truth will catch up to you, no more disguise. The man you rely on to clean up your mess is so profound, will soon see through your facade and leave you astounded. Using a child as a weapon, it's a shame. A woman who lacks self-respect, I can't acclaim. Real men fighting for what they believe in, never in vain. Standing 10 toes down, bringing awareness to the pain. Respect is earned by how you carry yourself, not by tearing others down for personal wealth. Real men don't back down, they fight with honor and stealth against injustice and falsehoods that threaten our health. Let's uplift each other instead of tearing apart, supporting one another from the start. Real men stand tall with courage in their heart, fighting for justice and truth, playing their part. Here's for the men who share their truth, never afraid to stand tall in their boots, respecting our women, fighting for what's right, supporting our kids day and night. Real women out there blazing trails, men by their side never looking pale. Rights for all, let's keep the balance true. Men have a voice, let's listen to. In this crazy world where battles are fought, let's remember the men who give it all they've got. Respect to those who speak their stories loud. Together we stand strong and proud. Together we stand, united we'll rise. setting an example for young eyes in every step we take, in every plan, guiding the next generation's hand, leading by actions, not just by words, teaching them to fly like birds, showing love and respect in all we do, for they're always watching, taking cues. Hand in hand, let's pave the way for a better tomorrow, starting today. Our children learn from what they see. Let's show them how great they can be. Let's be what our children need.